chickadees. Happy Wine and Crime Wednesday. We're back. Kind of not the normal Wine and Crime Wednesday, but we're still doing it. So happy to have you back here at the Chickadee Coop this evening. And hello, Kelly. Thanks for joining. And yes, I did see that Factual Lie said she would be on replay crew. I say she. You know what? I actually don't know if Factual Lie is male or female. I shouldn't say that. We have a lot to cover. Hey, look at Disney. You're right on time, girl. I think that's girl, right? I don't even know. See your names. I can't tell if you're chickadees or dudes. So, no tragic things happened today, thankfully. We didn't have any verdicts come in that made us all want to lose our minds, so that's good. Hello, Granny Debbie. Thanks for joining again tonight. I got to tell you some good news, something that happened to me today. Mr. Demeanor surprised me with a little something, something when I came home from work. I happened to really, really uncomfortably like Peeps. And I came home to this. Yeah. Cotton candy Peeps. Look at those little buggers in there. Y'all. I cannot wait to dig into those bad boys when we're done tonight. So, yeah, big marshmallow fan. Yes, I am. Yeah. I know people feel very strongly about Peeps, just like they feel very strongly about candy corn. I also love candy corn. If it is unhealthy for you, I probably like it. So, I'm in a great mood this evening. I don't feel like I need wine tonight. So back to the Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar we are going to have. I noticed court today in Michigan versus Dale Warner started exceptionally late. My understanding is it was twofold. There were some power issues with the court today. And so they didn't have any power for a period of time. But then again, they also didn't want to start until 10:30, but they actually didn't start until, gosh, I think it was 12:30 or 1. So I think there is about 2.5 hours of testimony for today. And we have an hour left over from yesterday. So I am thinking that we're going to be able to get all caught up tonight. So let's get into it as quickly as possible. I think pretty much everybody knows what this case is about because you all have been following. And thank you, Granny, for drinking wine for both of us. I do appreciate that. And Disney, you go ahead. Speaking of Peeps, you can peep away while you are getting home from work. I completely understand. I have a couple channels that I peep in on as I am driving home from work as well. So, but we're going to get into it. This is going to be witness number 10. And, oh gosh, where do I put myself? I guess I'll put myself over here for right now. I have no idea what any of this testimony is about, so we're going to just get into it.
Nothing but the truth under penalty for perjury. Yes. Okay, go ahead and sit right there.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Could you give us your full name and spell it for us?
Yes, Kyle Wagner, Kylewagner.
How did you know Dee Warner?
IT guy.
I provided IT services for her family or her businesses.
Okay. Did you know her before you were hired to work for her?
I did, yes.
About how long?
Probably about 5 years.
And did you know her well during those 5 years?
I knew of her. I've met her a handful of times.
Okay. And so can you tell us about when you were hired to do the IT work?
It probably would have been around 2014, 2015, probably around that time.
Okay. And did you continue through April of 2021?
I did, yes.
Okay. And who was the person that contacted you to say, we need you to do IT services for us?
It was mainly Dee.
Okay. And throughout that time period up until April 24th, 2021, was she your primary contact?
She was, yes.
Okay. So you interacted with her in terms of what she needed for the businesses?
Correct.
And what were the businesses? Was it all three or just one or two?
There was a handful. There was Wareg Farm Services, there was DDW Investments, and DDW Transportation.
Okay. And they all had the one office there at the Munger property?
Correct.
Okay. And so you were doing IT for all three?
Correct.
And what did that involve? What components?
It was from a networking standpoint, so servers, wireless, maintaining their computers, as well as taking care of surveillance.
Okay. And again, was it Dee you were interacting with and deciding what components to add or change or update?
Correct.
And would you describe her as a tech savvy person?
She was not.
Okay. Could she set up her own iPhone if she got a new phone?
No.
Okay. So let's turn to the surveillance. What did that consist of?
It as far as like equipment.
Exactly.
So it'd be the cameras, and then there would also be the actual server itself, or also known as a network video recorder, and that was what actually recorded the footage.
And where was that piece located?
That was located in the office.
Okay. So the cameras would feed into a piece of machinery in the office,
Correct.
and that machinery in the office would actually contain the recording.
Correct.
Great. Okay. I'm going to show you what's been entered as People's 30. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with building number 1.
Oh boy, this is going to be all of the aerial shot.
Do you recognize that building?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. And what did you refer to that building as?
That was the old shop.
All right. And did you place any cameras in the old shop?
Yes, I did.
Where were they?
When you from the front, when you walked in on the inside, there was a camera right above the door.
So I just want to remind everyone and orient you all from seeing this in opening statements. This triangular thing that they're showing, that is actually depicts what the camera actually could pick up in that particular spot. And I think this is going to be really important to see where the blind spots are that Dale could have maneuvered on the property and no one would have known because it doesn't appear on any of the security cameras. And Sandra, thank you so much for joining over here. We're happy to have you.
And then in the shop area, there was a 360 camera that was mounted on the ceiling. And then what I kind of refer to as maybe like the warehouse in the back, there was another 360 camera there. And then on the exterior of the building, where that circle is, there was an exterior camera, and that was facing the fuel tanks.
Okay. So let's take these one by one. There are at least 2 cameras directly overhead and up against the ceiling.
Correct.
And those 2 cameras are the 2 different parts of the old shop?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's another camera on the wall inside the doors.
Correct.
Okay, great. And so those are the 3 cameras inside the old shop?
Correct. Yes.
All right. And then you've got, looking at the arrows on the diagram, could you just explain what that is, what that represents?
That's the view of the camera.
Okay, of the external camera?
The external camera, correct.
Facing north off of the old shop.
Correct.
All right,
Looking at
great.
the fuel tanks.
All right, come on. All right, well, it's not wanting to. All right, let's go down to, can you see at the very bottom, there is building number.
I just want to point out again, I know we talked about this, but you can see this is where one camera would see. And then this over here is where another camera would see. but the back side of the office, there's nothing. This whole area back here, you could completely do whatever you want. No one's going to know anything.
Number 6. And
Yes.
again, okay. What do you know what that is?
That's the office.
All right. And you see there's a red represented there as well.
Yes.
What does that red represent?
That represents the camera that was interior to the office, looking at the reception desk in that area.
Okay. Was there just the one camera in the office?
Correct.
And only captured the reception area?
Correct.
All right. And then just to the north, well, just to the west of the office, there's the building running north and south.
Yes.
What building is that?
Are you talking about number 5?
Correct.
That's the new shop.
All right. And again, there's a red area on that building. What does that represent?
That represents the interior camera.
Okay. Was it just the one interior camera in the new shop?
Yes.
And so part of the south part of the new shop is not colored red. Does that mean it's not on camera?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then what about, oh, here we go. The circle there on building 5?
That's the exterior camera.
Okay. And the arrows coming out of the circle?
Represents the view.
Okay.
Big old dead spot by the side of the house too. I don't know if you all are noticing
On
that.
the,
Let me stop again. But this is the home, and this right here is where the double doors to the glass double doors where the JCB was pulled up to. That's where this is right here. So there aren't any cameras. You could easily maneuver from the front of the house and get back here and not be on any of these cameras. And don't tell me that Dale didn't know that.
east side of the office building, that circle there. Can you tell us what that is?
That's the camera that's mounted on the exterior of the building, and that was the primary view was the scale.
Okay. And can you tell the jury what the scale is?
The scale is kind of that rectangular, it's almost, you kind of see a faint red, and now they use that to weigh the trucks from the trucking company.
Okay, so it's that pinkish area running north and south right next to what looks like a silo?
Correct.
Okay. And that was why that camera was put there, to monitor the scales?
Correct.
All right, so do you recognize this picture here?
Yes.
And what is that showing?
That's showing a camera that's mounted on the exterior of the new shop.
Okay, so there's like, there's two overhead doors and then a man door in between.
Yes.
Okay, and then right above the man door, there's a big white round thing. What, you know what that is?
Yes, that's a wireless bridge
Okay, and so where's the camera in relation to that?
to the right of it.
Okay. Okay, and this photo, this is on People's 32. Okay,
That's the inside of the office,
and I'm zooming in. Do you recognize that?
and that's the camera.
Okay, and here?
That's the camera that's looking at the scale.
Okay, so just to be clear here, there's a Golden Harvest banner of some kind.
Correct.
Do you see that? And then it looks like a window to the right and up from that.
Yes, there's a light, and then to the right of the light is the camera.
Okay, just to the left of the pine tree.
Correct.
All right. And what kind of camera is that?
That was a 360 camera.
Okay. And can you tell the jury what that means? What a 360 camera?
It's also known as a fisheye camera.
Fisheye. That's what I was thinking.
You get a full 360 view from that camera, but within the camera itself, it's able to break the image out into different images, so you can kind of get like that panoramic view that we were looking to get for that area.
Okay.
So a very wide angle.
I'm sorry. All right.
Oh, you can
Let's
see the
go to
scale a lot
People's
better
44.
there. I hadn't noticed that
Do you
before.
recognize the view in that picture?
Yes, that's on the inside of the new shop.
Oh,
Okay.
the new shop. Oh,
I know it's small, but in the very upper left, do you see it says new shop and then 4/25/2021?
Yes.
Okay. And then in the image itself, there's a date 3/18/2021. Can you explain the difference?
So the 3/18/2021, that's the timestamp that is coming from the camera itself. And obviously that time is incorrect. The time in the upper left-hand corner next to New Shop, that is the correct time, and that's the time from the server.
Okay, and how does the server know the correct time?
It's able to reach out to the internet and grab the current time.
Okay. Same thing here with People's 39.
The 2/13/2021, that is interior to, or that's the time that's inside the camera, and in the upper left-hand corner, that's the timestamp from the server,
And that's the correct time, upper left.
and that's the correct time in the upper left.
All right, thank you. Now, you said that the server inside the office does the recording, correct?
Correct.
Does it record 24/7, all of the angles that we just referred to?
It records on motion. So if the server itself detected motion from a camera, it would record that particular footage.
Okay. And if it didn't detect motion?
Then it drops the footage. So the security camera itself is constantly sending a constant stream to the server, and the server makes the decision if it's going to keep that footage or not keep that footage based on motion.
Okay. And are there settings in terms of the motion, like how sensitive it is, that kind of thing?
Yes, you can set the sensitivity, and basically to the server, to the software. As far as the sensitivity, the more sensitive that you set it to, it doesn't need as many pixels to change. If it's less sensitive, it's going to need more pixels to change.
Okay, so a picture being sent by the camera is comprised of pixels,
Correct.
hundreds, thousands, millions, something
Yes,
like that?
correct.
Okay, and then the computer on the other end is looking at changes between pixels, is that what you're
Correct.
saying?
Yes,
As time goes along.
correct.
Okay, and so then you are able to set like how many pixels need to change before it starts recording?
It's basically it's essentially a percentage.
Okay.
But yes, you set the percentage, and then you can also set how many seconds you want to record before and after a motion event.
Why wouldn't you just record everything?
It just with the storage that was available on that particular server, we wouldn't have been
That
able
would be a
to
lot.
have a long retention period. With the setup that they had at that time, and recording on motion basically only gave us 7 days worth of footage.
Okay, so if you didn't do that, you'd have a lot of nothing.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
You probably would only have maybe a day, if that.
So what kinds of things would trigger the motion?
Normally, it could
Movement.
be, if on the inside of a building, somebody walking past it. On the outside, it could be a car. Sometimes even, like with a scale camera, having that pine tree there and it being in the view, if the wind was blowing and the tree was moving, that would be enough to set off a motion event.
Okay. Does the change in pixels, that motion event, does it vary? You said it was a percentage, right? So like a percentage of the entire picture, right? Does that change? Could you have the same object that's close and sets it off, and that same object be a mile away and not set it off? Do you understand the question?
Yes, if the object was closer, the likelihood of it setting the motion event off is higher than that same object setting it off further in the distance. Because if the object is closer, that's changing more of the pixels versus the object being far in the distance.
Okay. And have you personally seen any footage of things like dust?
No.
Okay. All right. So I want to go to Monday, 4/26. Did Dale contact you regarding the IT system?
Yes.
Okay. And how did he contact you? And again, I'm talking about April 26, 2021, the Monday after.
Yes.
Okay.
I received a phone call early in the morning. It probably was between 8 and 8:30. He requested that we meet. I was already going to be heading out that way to Hardy Farms, which I also provided IT services for them.
Of course.
And I said that I would be willing to meet at the office, which he indicated he didn't want to. So we ended up meeting outside of Hardy Farms.
Okay. And Hardy Farms being Greg and Shelley Hardy?
Correct.
Okay. And that's just a couple miles from the Munger farm?
Correct.
Okay. And what time of day did you meet Dale?
I would say probably it was around noon.
Okay. And what are the things that he wanted you to do?
He wanted the cameras put back on his phone. So the Milestone server allows you to be able to access it through the Milestone app that can be installed on your smartphone. And I needed to update some settings within his phone so that way he could be able to view the footage.
Okay. So the surveillance, that's what you're referring to as Milestone?
Correct.
And that's the company that provides all this?
That's the software. Yeah.
Okay. And Could you view the surveillance footage from the office?
Yes.
How so?
You could access it from the computer that was at the reception desk.
And would that be real time or just past events or both?
It would be both.
Okay. So you could go back however long was still on the server. You can go back days, whatever it is, and look at what happened yesterday or the day before, et cetera.
Correct.
And how far back could you go? What was that window?
It was about 7 days.
Okay. All right. And
Drianne, you go right ahead. We should be back on day 4 in about 30 minutes, I would say.
then tell us about the phone. You said that he wanted it updated on his phone.
He wanted to be able to access the cameras from his phone.
And is it the same thing? You could go back and look at things and look at real time?
Correct.
Okay. And why didn't he have it on his phone?
Probably about a month or two prior to Dee disappearing, we upgraded to a different internet provider. And as a result of that, the public IP address changed. So that needed to be updated on his phone.
So isn't an IP address like an electronic address?
It's a unique identifier that allows you to communicate to other computers out on the internet, and especially if you're publishing a service. So when I say publish a service, I mean allowing the ability to access the Milestone software from anywhere in the world. You have to have a public IP address. So then that way you can tell the app that's on a phone or another type of device how to get to the server to be able to access either the live or recorded footage.
Okay, but Dale was telling you he couldn't do that?
Correct.
And you looked and he had the wrong IP address? Okay. What else did he ask you to do when you met with him?
He wanted access to the camera server taken away from some of the other people that had it.
Oh,
Okay. And so who was left with access to the server access?
I believe it was Parker Hardy and Zach Bach.
So they were removed or they were left?
Oh, they were removed. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
And so who was left with access at that point?
At that point, it just would have been Dale.
Just Dale. Would Dee have had
wow.
No.
access? Okay. And what about the computer system in the office? Was there anything done with that?
Passwords for the server was changed, and some passwords for QuickBooks was changed as well.
Okay. And did you give those passwords to anybody other than Dale?
No.
Okay. So, for example, Dee was a part owner of these businesses. Would she have been able to access any of that at that point after you changed them?
No.
Wow, that is super telling. I mean,
Later that week, were you contacted by the sheriff regarding the surveillance footage?
Yes, I was.
All right. And what did you do in response to that?
I exported the surveillance footage that was on the server.
Okay. And again, you're saying you went back about a week. Is that about
It was
right?
about 7 days, if I remember correctly. Yes.
Okay. All right. Last thing I want to talk about, in the summer of like 2019 or 2020, did you have a conversation with Dale regarding Dee's phone?
Yes.
Okay. Could tell us about that.
I received a phone call regarding that Dee was having some medical issues, maybe even some migraines, and was in the hospital.
And who was the phone call from?
It was from Dale.
Okay. Continue.
And that she possibly could have been going under a medical procedure, and the request was made for me to clone Dee's phone.
Okay. Had Dee ever contacted you to say I'm going in for this procedure?
No.
Did she ever say, clone my phone in case, just so that my contacts and all my texts and things, anything like that?
No.
Okay.
uh-huh.
What does it mean to clone somebody's phone?
In the case for Dee, she had an iPhone, and so her whole entire phone was regularly backed up to iCloud. So that was contacts, photos, text messages, basically any information that was on her phone. And so cloning it basically meant restoring the iCloud backup, which essentially would make a replica of her phone. She wouldn't be able to make the other phone wouldn't be able to make phone calls unless the service was transferred, but it would have historical text messages as well as any other information that was on her phone, including notes.
Okay. And so if you had done that and given it to Dale, he would have had access to what?
Whatever was on her phone.
Okay. Text
Wow.
messages,
Photos, notes.
any phone call that she would have made, at least a number called or
Yes.
received,
Correct.
anything that was on your phone.
Correct.
Okay. And did you do it?
I did not do it
Why not?
because I didn't have Dee's permission and I didn't feel it was right.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Nothing further.
Yeah, I don't think that's. Hi, Eve. By the way.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wagner. My name is Mara Savinsky. I have some questions for you.
I don't think that's so much a big deal, but the fact that he wanted access, he wanted to check to see what it showed is what I'm thinking.
You testified that you started working for the Warner farm in around 2014 or 2015. Is that correct?
Yes,
And you had actually went to school with Parker Hardy,
I did. Yes,
and you were working for Hardy Farms, I believe you mentioned.
yes,
And that's how you got introduced to Miss Warner to start working for the Warner farm.
correct.
You worked for all three of the businesses that you named that were on the Munger property, correct?
Correct.
It was all one network.
Yes,
And you said you worked on pretty much anything IT related.
correct.
It sounds like Miss Warner wasn't tech savvy.
Correct.
Mr. Warner wasn't tech savvy.
Yes,
You were the go-to.
I was. Yes,
And despite working for all of the businesses, Miss Warner was the person that you primarily had contact with, right?
correct.
You would call yourself friends with Miss Warner?
Yes,
I think so, Kelly.
When
I
you
think
installed
that's
cameras on
her
the
brother.
farm, this was company wide.
correct.
And there were some spots I think we saw in the government's exhibit that the cameras didn't pick up on the farm, correct?
Correct.
Miss Warner was the person who directed you where to place the cameras.
Correct.
Did she also tell you what sensitivity to have it at?
No.
Did you just leave it at the automatic setting that it came with?
I mean, I would adjust it to try to get it as accurate as possible.
Mr. Warner never had you put cameras up in any certain locations.
Correct.
And Miss Warner was the person who not only told you where to put the cameras, but what direction they should be pointed at.
Correct.
And I believe you said Miss Warner, Zachary Bach, and Parker Hardy, they all had access to the camera system.
Correct.
For the month prior to Miss Warner going missing, Mr. Warner did not have access to the camera system.
Correct.
And you testified that you met with Mr. Warner on April 26th, 2021 at the Hardy Farms.
Correct.
And Mr. Warner was agreeable to meet at Miss Warner's family's home/property.
Correct.
Mr. Warner wanted access to the camera systems,
Correct.
and these were camera systems that were paid for by all the businesses,
Yes.
and they were the camera system that was located on the Munger property.
Correct.
Ma'am, don't try to make it sound like this is normal, because it's not.
On Sunday, April 25th, 2021, Mr. Warner would not have been able to get into the camera system on his phone. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. Correct.
And then you said he also wanted the passwords changed,
Yes.
and these were passwords for all of the businesses,
Correct.
and Mr. Warner is an owner of the businesses.
Correct.
He had the right to not only change the passwords, but determine who had access to them.
Correct.
Yeah.
During that conversation with Mr. Warner on April 26th, he actually thought Miss Warner had run off,
Correct.
and he expressed that he wanted his wife back.
Correct.
Moving on to the iPhone that you say Mr. Warner wanted cloned.
Wow, there's some
When
shade.
exactly was that?
I would say it probably was a year or two before she went missing.
So 2019, 2020, that range.
Yes.
I think they established
said
it was
that
in 2019.
It was your understanding Miss Warner was in the hospital, or that's what you were told, and she was having potentially a procedure done.
Correct.
It was not a secret to Mr. Warner that you primarily had contact with Miss Warner.
Correct.
And he did not tell you at that point to keep it a secret from Miss Warner.
Correct.
He never told you, don't tell her I'm asking you to do this.
Correct.
I have no further questions.
I wonder if he did tell her, though. Uh-oh, do we have a question? Do we have a juror question again? Oh, I'm so excited. Y'all, I get so excited about these questions.
Thank you. Just two quick things. Other than the time you just described, from the time you started working there, whenever it was 2014, 2015, did Dale ever, at any other times, ask you to put the camera system on his phone? Did he ever contact you about that other than the one you described?
There probably was one other incident, but it would have been when I was on site doing work for them.
Okay.
It could have been. It probably. I think the one incident that I remember was when I was in passing. He was passing through the office, and I was working on some other things, and he just asked to have it put on his phone.
Okay. And the other thing is, do you know the reason why the cameras were put in the places that they were?
Normally, it was usually because of some kind of an incident or a problem that might have been happening on the farm.
Problem related to what?
Maybe employees or or yeah, usually it was related to problems with employees.
So the cameras were pointed at like valuable things.
Yes, that would be
Like,
correct.
You talked about the fuel
Yes,
camera
yeah.
being one,
Correct.
inside tools, that kind of thing.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, if council could approach, we do have one question from the jury.
We do have a juror question. Sorry, I got to get my notes going here. Let me zippity doo-dah us ahead here.
All right, council has reviewed the question, and it's my understanding there are no objections. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Tell us what the
question
question is.
How many total cameras installed outside and any facing south? Any cameras facing south towards Munger Road?
I think there was 3 exterior cameras, and the scale camera would have been able to see a portion of that road. It probably, like in the slight view, you could see a little bit.
Mr. McCready or Ms. Vincey, any follow-up?
No follow-up.
Okay. And,
Wow.
Can we excuse Mr. Whitener from his speech?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
That's a
Thanks,
good
sir. You are free to
question.
Go, and if you wish to remain in the courtroom, you can do that now.
Thank you.
That's a really good question. I like this jury. They are paying attention.
Ms. Weiss, who do people like to call as the next witness?
People would call Brian Bush.
Brian Bush. Sorry, multitasking here. Not well
You
am I
swear you are that,
multitasking.
Liz?
All right.
Good afternoon. Can you please state your full name and spell it for the record?
Brian Bush, BRINBUSH.
Sir, did you know both Dee and Dale Warner?
Yes.
And how did you know them?
Dale was my will be father-in-law.
Okay. And who are you married to?
At the time, I was married to Jenica.
Okay. And that would have been Dale's daughter.
Correct.
All right. And what period of time were you married to Dale's daughter?
We got married in 18 and divorced 20. So it's been like 3-4 years we were married.
Okay. Describe your relationship with Dee.
With Dee. At times it was rocky. Just depends on how she was. It could be good one day and the next day. It just depended on the day, really.
Okay. How was your relationship with Dale?
We always was with him and always working for him at the time.
All right. Did you consider him like a father figure to you?
Yes.
All right. When you say I was working for him at the time, right there on the Munger farm,
Yes.
what were you doing for him?
Okay, y'all. Him playing the drums on the witness stand is going to make me go get wine tonight. Y'all, I'm trying to stick with this. Yeah, is this what you're talking about? You had to watch his testimony 3 times? Okay, we're going to try to all get through this together, all right? Y'all are my support people.
I was farm related. I was working on trucks or doing whatever that was needed on the farm.
All right. What period of time did you work on the farm?
I worked for them about 2 years. I don't know exact
Okay. Would that have been when you and your ex-wife first got together during the
Yes.
course of your marriage, or
when we were married.
okay? Would it have been closer to the 2018 timeframe?
Correct.
All right. And you said approximately 2 years you worked there.
Yes.
How often did you see Dee and Dale?
About every day.
Okay. Is it both of them or just one of them?
I would see one or both depending on the day.
Okay. I want to take you back to June of 2019. Do you recall Dale asking you to purchase a safe for him?
Yes.
All right. Tell me
Oh.
about that.
There was some documentation that was in there in the safe that was upstairs that he thought was in there. So he wanted to replace the safe and get into it.
All right. I'm going to stop you and kind of take you slowly.
Yep.
How does Dale contact you about the safe?
I don't know exactly if it was a phone call or a text.
Okay. And what does he say to you?
Hey, there's a safe upstairs in Zach's room, or the old Zach's room,
Okay.
that was in the closet that he would like to get into.
All right. And did he indicate what he thought was in there?
He indicated that there might be some old bank records that was in there.
All right. And how were you supposed to help him get into the safe?
I was only supplying the safe. I wasn't helping him get into the safe.
Okay. So I'm going to show you Exhibit 23. When you say you were only supplying the safe, what does that mean?
So he asked me to purchase for him
Okay.
a replacement safe.
And did you do that?
I did.
Okay. And is this a screenshot of your Amazon cart?
Yes.
And so you purchased that on Amazon?
Yes.
Can you see the date on that?
Yes.
What is it?
June 11th of 2019.
Wow.
And did that safe ship to your house or to the Warner's house, or where did that go?
Shipped to my house in Adrian.
All right. What did you do with it when you got it?
I then took it to and gave it to Dale.
And did you talk to Dale about the safe after that?
I did not. I didn't ask him the contents or anything that he found.
Okay. So you had another conversation, though, about the safe after you gave him the one you purchased for him, correct?
Yes.
All right. And what was that conversation?
If it was identical to the one that I actually bought, if
Okay.
it was confirmed.
Okay. It was confirmed?
Yes.
All right. Did Dale tell you that he was able to get into Zach and Dee's safe?
That I don't remember if
Okay.
it was confirmed or.
Okay. Do you remember if he tell you that he saw any of the contents of that safe?
I don't know what was found in that safe.
Okay. At some point in time, did Dale approach you about trail cams?
Oh.
Yes.
All right. And when was that?
I don't know exact dates.
Okay. Do you think it would have been 2019, 2020? What year do you think?
I would say 2019, and that's me guessing.
Okay. Getting the discussion about trail cams, did it come up in relation to the safe that we just looked at?
Not to the safe, no.
Okay. And what was the conversation about the trail cams?
The trail cameras, the conversation started was the anhydrous tanks, the inspection that they had coming up.
Okay. So that was the original plan with the trail cams.
Correct.
All right. So after they have this inspection with the anhydrous tanks, do you use the trail cams for something else?
I did not know.
Okay. Did Dale have a conversation with you about using those trail cams for something else?
Yes.
All right. And what was that?
That was putting one in the house to see if people coming in and out of it.
Okay. And was that at all in relation to people accessing the safe, or no, not at all?
He wanted to see if there's anybody coming in with documentation and papers in their hands.
All right. I'm going to show you Exhibit 25. Oh, I'm not going to show you Exhibit 25. May we approach?
That is so weird to me. Wanted to see what documents were being brought in. I'm baffled by this. What's zippity doo dah past?
All right. We are going to show you Exhibit 25. Can you read that? Yes. I know I can't, so give me 1 second.
Okay.
All right. Can you read that?
The
Places for
bottom
camera.
wording.
Yes.
Okay, I can read that. Yes.
Okay. What does that say?
Places for camera.
Okay. And there's a photograph attached to that, correct?
Correct.
All right. Do you know what area of the house that is?
That's in the living room.
Okay. Next page. All right. What about this one? Can you zoom that one in too? What does that one say?
Places for camera.
Okay. And where's that
Ah.
in the home?
I don't know where that one's at.
Okay. That's fair.
It was in the bedroom. I remember
next page.
seeing that.
All right. Let's zoom in.
We know where that is because that
What does that
cabinet
say?
above us where
Places
he
for
was
camera.
digging
Alright,
through all the
and-
medicine.
Where's that located in the home?
That's in the kitchen dining area, the
Okay.
back bar area.
Okay. What was the purpose of sending you those text messages?
I believe that's where the camera location for seeing where the documentation, if it was coming in or out of the house.
Okay. So when Dale's saying places for cameras, is he asking for you to put them there? Or is he asking for your input? I mean, why is he sending you these messages?
Objection, speculation.
I'll rephrase it. Why, if you know why he's sending you these messages, are you supposed to place them or?
Okay, we don't have an adequate foundation even for that question at this point.
Okay. So having a discussion with Dale about the trail cameras, and then you get this text message. Okay.
Okay.
And are you communicating outside of these messages with Dale about the trail cameras and setting them up?
I would say if there's not a following text message, it was more than likely a phone call.
Okay. And what were you supposed to do with those trail cams?
I would say I didn't set those up.
Okay.
I just supplied it.
Okay. So do you know then why the defendant was sending you text messages? Do you know?
I know, maybe I would say that If-
Okay,
wait.
the question is simply, do you know or do you not know? That's, you need to answer that question before you
Ooh,
continue.
this judge.
Yes.
We like Judge Olsaver.
Okay.
Way to be
Why?
on top of
Wait,
things.
we need to know how he knows.
How do you know?
I would the places for cameras.
Right. So because of the text message?
Yes.
Okay, describe what you mean. How do you know why he's sending you this message?
Because that was the location that if we could see where the door in the kitchen, that was the best place.
Okay. So again, is he asking you to do something or
I believe he's asking for my recommendation.
okay. And
This dude's squirrely. I don't like it. I don't like it. He seems evasive to me. And this is on direct that he seems evasive. Woo.
do you end up doing anything with the trail cams?
No,
Do you end up ever giving them to the defendant?
I gave yes.
All right. I'm going to show you People's Exhibit 26. Do you recognize that area?
Yes.
What is that?
The dining area, kitchen area.
Is that the same area that was in the text message for places for cameras in one of the
Yup.
photos?
Yes, the last photo.
All right. And I'm going to show you Exhibit 27. And do you see what am I looking at actually?
You're looking at the living room to the kitchen dining area.
Okay. And to the right, it looks like there's a white couch. And then beyond the couch, what is that?
A sliding door.
Okay. And directly across from the sliding door, is that the last photograph we looked at?
Yes.
So if you were to put a camera up in that location, that's the door that it would be picking up.
Correct.
Is that okay? Did you set up the trail camera at all for the defendant? Did you have to set it up?
No.
Did you have any conversations with Dale about any of the photographs or anything that he found from the trail camera stuff?
No.
I want to talk about a GPS tracker for the Hummer.
Okay.
At some point in time, did Dale ask you to purchase a GPS tracker?
Yes.
All right. And when was that?
I don't know exact date.
All right. I'm going to show you Exhibit 24.
Oh boy.
Did you purchase it on Amazon?
Yes.
All right. And do you see a date on there?
January 9th of 2020.
Is that the device that you purchased for the defendant?
Yes.
All right. Why did the defendant ask you to purchase this device? Did you have a conversation with him about purchasing it?
Yes.
All right. And did he tell you why he wanted it?
Yes. He wanted to track the Hummer.
Okay. Why?
There was found Dee's Hummer at Meyer for about 3 to 4 hours just sitting there.
Okay.
And he wanted to know why it was sitting there, like the activity of it.
Okay. Did the defendant say anything to you about tracking the Escalade during this conversation?
Yes.
What did he say?
That it did not need one due to OnStar.
Okay. Did the defendant raise any concerns with you about the Hummer being at Meyer for so long? Concerns on what he thought Dee might be doing?
Possibly having an affair.
So did this device come to your home?
Yes.
And what did you do with it when you got it?
I then took it to Dale.
Okay. And did you do anything with it after that?
No, I did not.
Okay. Did you yourself place that in the vehicle?
I did not.
Did you set up an account for it?
Yes, I did.
All right. How'd you do that?
I just followed the instructions on the box.
Okay. Did you have to, do you remember what you had to do to create an account at all?
Yeah, I had to put my name and information in there and put a card on file.
You had to put a card on file. Okay. And where did you get the card from?
My personal card.
Okay. Did Dale ever give you a card?
No.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, the drumming.
Did you ever use that device in any of your vehicles?
I did not.
How often would you track that vehicle?
Whenever I was asked to.
How often would that be?
I don't know how many times a day.
Oh my.
Well, do you know how long it went on for?
I would say about 3 months, if I remember right. I'm not exact on that.
Wow.
For approximately 3 months?
Yes.
Okay. And can you estimate for me how many times a week you thought that you were accessing that?
I would say estimated. I would say probably about 10 to 20.
10 to 20 times a week?
Oh, I would say about Probably about 50 times a week.
50 times a week. Okay. And
50 times.
when would you access that device? Did you ever wake up one day and say, I wonder where Dee is?
I did not.
All right. So when were you accessing that device?
When I was asked where the location was,
Okay. And who would ask you that?
Dale.
Hey, Tough Tip, thanks for coming and joining us. I'm
At
gonna
some point in
try-
time, did the defendant have a conversation with you about ending the use of that GPS device?
Yes.
All right. And tell me about that.
I got a phone call one day, and it was that someone found the GPS.
Dale called you and told you somebody found it?
Yes.
All right. When you handed that GPS unit to the defendant, did he ask you to not talk about it or to do anything specifically about that conversation?
Yes.
Okay, what did he say to you?
It was a stay between him and I.
Ah,
And did he say why?
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
oh, Dale. Dale. Oy, oy, oy.
Do you recall when Dale approached you and told you to stop, that you guys had to stop using the GPS device?
I do not know exactly. No, I don't.
Did you speak with the defendant on April 25th, 2021?
I don't know exact dates. I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you remember getting a phone call about Miss Warner being missing?
I did not receive a phone call.
Okay. Were you at the Cedar Point property?
I was.
All right. And did somebody come up there?
Yes.
Who was that?
It was either, if I remember right, either Raquel or Dustin, one of the two. I can't remember.
Okay. And what did you do after they left?
I called Dale and said, hey, what's going on? And I was talking to him, and he said that him and Dee got in an argument that night, and he didn't know what was going on.
Okay. Did he say what the argument was about?
I would say it was about money, and that was probably the biggest thing.
Okay. Did he tell you himself exactly what the argument was about?
He told me it was about money,
Okay. Did he mention affairs to you?
that he approached her if she was having an affair. Yes.
Oh my word, he's obsessed.
Did
Oh
you have
my
any other
gosh.
conversations with Dale about Dee Warner after April 25th, 2021?
Honestly, I don't remember if I did or not.
All right. I believe you said you and your
You never spoke
ex-wife
to him
divorced in
again?
2022 or 2023. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Did you remain on friendly terms with her family?
Yes and no. Obviously, I moved away at that point, but the last interaction we had was when we had our son's birthday party at the point.
All right. After your divorce, how did your relationship change with the defendant, if at all?
Honestly, I didn't talk to him very much.
Did you still feel like he was a father figure to you?
It kind of gone away, to be honest with you.
All right. Was it, so when did that feeling begin?
When I moved away, when the divorce was happening.
All righty, nothing further from the state. Let's hope we don't have Miss Snarky Snark. This poor guy doesn't need Snarky McAdams to come on. Oh my word, woman. We're in another try.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bush.
Oh,
My name is
hallelujah.
Marissa Vinsky. I have some questions for you.
You can ask away.
All right.
Oh my gosh, the drumming. Lord help us all.
Mr. Warner and
Ah,
you talked a little bit about your relationship with Mr. Warner and Miss Warner as it relates to work. When Miss Warner, or when Mr. Warner, excuse me, would tell you things to do, was it common for Miss Warner to override him?
Yes.
And you saw verbal arguments between Mr. Warner and Miss Warner.
Yes.
from what you saw, Mr. Warner hardly raised his voice at her.
Correct.
You testified that you were on the point. You said you didn't know the date, but would it make sense if it was April 25th, 2021?
Yes, because that's right around turkey season.
And you were up at the point hunting or preparing to hunt for turkey season.
Correct.
When you had a conversation with Mr. Warner, you called him.
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
And you could hear from the background noise that Mr. Warner was actually in the sprayer when you talked to him.
Correct.
You could hear the monitor beeping,
Correct.
and there's a monitor in the sprayer.
Yes.
And that was a typical time that Mr. Warner would be spraying.
Correct.
You never saw the Hummer device, or the device, excuse me, that you ordered for Mr. Warner. You never saw it plugged into the Hummer.
Correct.
You didn't see it plugged into any vehicle.
Correct. I did not.
You don't even know what it looked like if it was just plugged in, like what the actual device would look like.
Yes, I would. Because I mean, I gave it to him, so I know what it looks like, but I don't know what it would be like underneath the dash or nothing like that.
Right. So you don't know if there's a light on it, if where it would be located, anything like that.
Correct.
And you testified that you would use the device to see where the Hummer was.
Correct.
At the preliminary examination, where you testified under oath on May 1st, 2024, you said that you probably would check the location of the Hummer once or twice a week. Does that sound accurate?
Yes, and it was probably, it was on average.
And while you would, look at the device for the Hummer location, you also actually used it to see mechanical issues with the Hummer, correct?
Correct.
I want to talk about the trail cameras. The trail camera that you gave to Mr. Warner, it was about 4 inches wide
Correct.
and 7 inches tall.
Yes.
And this is a type of camera that you can either just set down on a surface,
Surface or mount it.
you can mount it with a strap.
Yes.
The camera that you gave, it would be hard to disguise it.
Yes, it would be.
Can you use your hands to show how big the camera is?
It was about this big, about this tall, and it had a tall antenna on it.
Okay, so you held your hands what you think would be 4 inches apart and 7 inches tall.
Correct.
And then you said there's a big antenna coming out from the top of the camera as well.
Correct.
In the camera that you gave to Mr. Warner, he actually gave it back to you, right?
Correct.
And this was before Miss Warner ever went missing.
Correct.
We're almost
I have
through it,
no
guys.
further questions. Thank you.
He's like, oh my gosh, am I free? Oh, more juror questions. This is a lot of juror questions. I am loving it.
Go ahead, Joseph.
You indicated that you would also use that GPS device to diagnose the Hummer.
Correct.
Okay, and when did you diagnose the Hummer?
It was if there was a fault code or anything on it.
Okay, and was there ever any fault code for the Hummer?
No.
Okay, and when there was no fault code for the Hummer, what'd you do with it
I personally did not do anything with it.
other than continue to track it?
Correct.
Okay, and the purpose of buying that device was what?
To track the Hummer.
And did the defendant tell you how or if Dee reacted to that device being in the Hummer?
After she found it,
Correct.
yes, she
What?
was went off the handle. It was really mad,
Oh,
Okay,
I
and did you
bet.
observe that or just from what he told you?
from what I was told.
And nothing further comment.
You spoke with the Michigan State Police on October 24th, 2023, correct?
I don't know if I did or not. Sorry.
I think you did a few times. With looking at the report, help you refresh your recollection about when you spoke.
Yes.
Ms. Saylor, will you show GWR02, page 231? police report
We're going to zippity doo dah.
Hummer that you used the device for, correct? You told the police that there was an issue with the Hummer that you used the device for, correct?
Oh, sorry. I was.
No, that's okay. Did that help refresh your recollection about the date that you talked to Michigan State Police?
This page right here.
It should be at
Uh-oh.
the very bottom of page 231.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Here
that
we
help
go
refresh your
again.
Yeah. Sorry. I was looking at the top.
Use the diagnostic device for, correct?
Correct.
I have no further questions.
Let me
That
back
you
that
used
up.
the diagnostic.
Sorry.
And you told the police that there was an issue with the Hummer that you used the diagnostic device for, correct?
Correct.
I have no further questions.
Weird. Okay.
Again, did that diagnostic tool give you an error code for anything on the Hummer?
It did not.
Thank you.
That's weird. I see what you mean, oh, Felicia. Oh, let's zippity doo dah again because the jury is very engaged.
Okay, Mr. Bush, we have a couple questions from the jurors. The
Oh.
first is, did Dale ever give you his own or business card to pay for GPS device?
No, he did not.
How did it end up on invoice for company?
I was reimbursed via cash, so I don't know how the invoice would be submitted.
Okay. Would the purchase show Amazon on credit card statement?
It was on my personal account, so it'd be on my card statement. Correct.
Anything further at this point, Ms. Wise?
What was that last?
Deal with the receipt to get reimbursed.
Anything further at this point?
My card statement. Correct. It was on my personal account, so it'd be on my card statement. Correct.
Purchase show
Submitted.
Okay. Would the purchase show Amazon on credit card statement?
It was on my personal account, so it'd be on my card statement. Correct.
Anything further at this point, Ms. Wise?
Did you provide Dale with the receipt to get reimbursed, or how did you get reimbursed?
I just told him of the amount it was.
Nothing further.
Ms. Vinsky, anything else?
No, nothing further.
Can we excuse Mr. Bush from his subpoena?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. You are free to go, or if you want to be in the courtroom, you can stay in the courtroom at this point.
He's like, let me get the heck out of here as fast as possible. Okay, guys. Yes, Disney, I agree. He seemed a little skittish about the whole credit card business. And that is not what we heard from Stephanie, who was the actual accountant in the office. So, yeah, I don't know that cleared anything up. It made him look like Mr. McLiar pants is what it looked like to me. But I am going to refresh my StreamYard. Everybody, please hang with me. I'm hoping I don't lose you all, so just hang tight. Okay, I'm back. I'm getting really, really delayed things through my StreamYard. So I just wanted to refresh it. And we'll carry on. That is the end of day 3. So let's head on over to day 4. And I think I have us queued up pretty well here. Let me get the stream headed over to the right place. Yeah, I don't like how that credit card business was going down at all. Something seems weird to me. Something seems real weird. Yeah, see, that did not fix my StreamYard. I see y'all are chatting away over here. And let's go ahead and get day 4 going here. It is, I think, a couple hours worth. I have the last one on 1.25 speed. Y'all let me know in the chat if it gets too fast for you. So far, it seemed like normal for me anyway.
You may be seated.
Oh, good point, Disney.
All right, you people may call your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. People call George Ziegler.
All right, let me get us zippity-doo-dah through this. Georgia Ziegler,
Swear
I
to tell the truth, the whole
believe,
truth,
is
and
the
nothing but
next
the truth under
person
penalty of
here.
perjury.
I do.
You can sit down.
She's got stuff with her. I'm going to say law enforcement.
Good afternoon.
Hello,
Could you tell us your name and spell it for the record?
my name's Georgia Ziegler, Georgiaziegler.
And where do you work?
I work for the Michigan State Police.
And what do you do there?
I am a cell phone records specialist.
Oh.
What does that mean?
I specialize in analyzing historical cell phone records for criminal investigations.
And where do you get those records?
These records are obtained from the cell phone service provider. So in this case, it would be Verizon.
And how long have you been doing that?
I've been analyzing records for approximately 5 years.
And do you have training in this area?
I do.
And what kind of training?
I've gone through over 300 hours of training specific to analyzing historical phone records. A lot of that training is conducted by software vendors or other industry professionals who handle the material.
And you mentioned software. Do you use software in your analysis?
I do.
What kind of software?
Celebrate.
In this case, I use Cellhawk as well as
Oh.
Penlink's PLX.
Shut the
And are
front
you aware of,
door.
like, the industry standard in this area? Would those be considered industry standard, those two programs?
Yes, Cellhawk is a very common program for law enforcement or attorneys.
And what does the software actually do? How do you
This-
use it?
I use the software to help efficiently process the records because when we receive cell phone records, they have hundreds of rows of data, so it helps process it more efficiently. However, everything that I do in the software can be done by hand. It just makes it more efficient for our time.
Do you then spot check to make sure that the software is rendering accurate results?
That's correct.
And how do you do that?
To spot check the records, I look for the key tower transactions or the key transactions in the report and recreate those transactions on a map by hand and make sure that our software is displaying those transactions appropriately.
So the software is basically mapping the location of something on an actual map. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And all right, and then you are actually going and looking at the data and say, is that correct? Is that where it really is on the map?
That's correct.
Okay. And then does someone check your work once you've used the
I'm
software
excited.
on your own spot checking and now you have a report?
Yes, my report undergoes multiple layers of peer review where another analyst who's trained in this will recreate the report or the records and the analysis.
Okay. And about how many cases have you worked on and doing the same kind of analysis?
I would say around 100.
Okay. How did you get involved in this case?
At the time, I was in a training for software, and some of the material that they were training on had me use case materials. So I inquired to look at the records for this case to see if I could identify anything that may have been missed.
Okay. So you were provided the actual Verizon records that are at issue here?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And what did those consist? Well, let me ask you this: were they particular to Dee Warner's phone? Any of those records?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And just referring to those records for the time being, did you do the analysis?
I did.
Okay. And so what did you do to prepare for court today?
I completed an analysis and I put my analysis on a presentation for today.
Okay. And showing you what's been admitted just for demonstration purposes only. This won't be in evidence, but so the jury can follow along better, is People's 261. Is this the presentation that you referred to?
That's correct.
Okay. Obviously, you don't need to read the slide, but can you tell us a little bit about the methodology that you haven't already mentioned?
So this slide just talks about the types of records that we receive to analyze. Cell phone providers maintain records of all their customers' usage on their network. So in this case, Verizon maintains a log of all of the activity for this phone number. That could be texts, calls, anytime the user would have accessed the internet. That could be in the form of checking their email, browsing the web, any applications that require internet. And Verizon will log these transactions on their network, and included in those logs are going to be the date and time that it was initiated, the type of transaction it was, if there was another number involved in that transaction, so if it was a voice call, and sometimes there will be duration or a location component, which is in the form of a cell phone tower or a cell site. The other records that we can receive from the carrier are network performance records. These are records that generate on the back end. The user does not have to be manipulating their phone for these records to produce. And these records essentially indicate interactions between the device and the cell phone towers in the area. And those cell phone towers in the area can infer an approximate distance from the cell site that the device is expected to be.
So you mentioned a couple of things. You mentioned texts and voice calls. So those would be things, for example, a text. If the phone that you're analyzing, those records, had sent the text, that would be something that the user would generate intentionally, correct?
Yes.
Do these records also include things that the phone would do on autopilot? It would do automatically?
Yes.
Like what kinds of things would those might be?
Some of the records that may be generated on their own would be if you received an incoming text or a call. Obviously, the user doesn't have control over who's calling them. There would be some data sessions potentially that are generating if there's data being run in the background, like a background application. And then the network performance records, those are all generated by Verizon. The user doesn't have to be manipulating the phone.
So if I'm on my phone and I have like a weather app that I want it to be always having the current weather, I don't have to do anything to say, hey, go get the weather for me. It automatically appears on my phone, right?
Yes.
And that would be one of the things you're referring to that happens in the background without the user being involved?
Yes, that could be.
Okay, thank you. All right, can you explain a little bit about, for those who don't know the specifics about the cell towers?
So like I said, these records contain locational information in the records. They're not exact locations of the device. However, they do provide the location of the cell phone tower. So if I were to pull out my phone and make a call, Verizon has to provide service to my phone so that it can make that call. Those tower locations are cell sites, and those are essentially structures that have antenna equipment to direct radio frequency signals to a designated area so that your phone can receive signal. These cell phone towers are broken up into sides or sectors. So in the records, not only are we getting the location of the tower, but also what side of the tower is being accessed by the device.
Should sound very familiar.
And is this an example of that?
You were
This
with
is a
me for the
visual
Zach
example
Adams
of what that's going to look
case.
like in my report. So the picture on the left is an example of what a single access or a access on a single side of the tower is going to look like. That pie shape, or what
There
we would
it
refer
is.
to as a sector, is indicating that the signal is oriented towards the west and the device is using the west side of that tower. The picture on the right is what it looks like if there's multiple sides of the towers being accessed. And one thing to note here is that the sector lines and the shading there do not represent the boundaries of coverage. Those are just visual guides so you can understand what side of the tower is being used.
Okay, just so everybody understands, in the picture on the left, where is the tower?
The tower is going to be at the point of that sector. There's a very small orange circle. I don't know if you can see it or not.
We're talking about right here?
Yes.
All right, what do you have here?
This is a visual example of what the network performance records will look like. So as I mentioned before,
Yikes.
you'll get the side of the tower that's being accessed by the device, but there's also inferred distances from the tower that the network can provide. Those distances are going to be represented as a curved line along that side of the tower, or an arc as indicated by the number 2.
So how does the tower know what the distance is between the tower and the phone?
The network will send, your device will constantly be communicating with towers on the network so that it knows if you need to make a call, it knows what tower is going to have the best service, quality of service, so that call can be made. And those signals will constantly be interacting between the tower and the device. And when the signal is traveling at the speed of light, you can infer a distance of how far the phone away is based on how long it takes for the signal to go back and forth.
So there's a signal that goes out from the cell side of the cell tower to the phone and back,
Correct.
and it knows how long that would take depending on how far it is away.
Correct.
Okay. Is there a maximum distance that would work? Is it 2 miles, 100 miles, and somewhere in between? Do you know?
I do not.
Okay. Why is that? Why don't you know?
Depending on the towers or the geographic area, the tower density in rural areas, there's going to be a lot less towers because there's a lot less demand for service. Whereas in an inner city, you're going to have a lot more towers in the area. So those towers are going to be oriented in a way that provides continuous coverage to the area. So in a rural area, the towers may cover a lot more space, geographic space, than it would in a urban area.
All right. So you did an analysis of a certain set of records, correct?
Correct.
And what were those records?
I analyzed records associated to Dee Warner's Verizon phone.
And what was the date that you looked from when to when?
The entire record set covered March 28th, 2021 through April 28th, 2021. And my analysis focused around the time of her disappearance.
All right. And this is just to help the jury understand the symbols that we're going to show in a minute.
This
Yes,
isn't the
so
phone I
the
wanted
symbols
to know
there in
about.
purple, those represent the sides of the tower that are going to be accessed by the device. If there is a distance associated with that access, it'll be represented by a curved line along that side of the tower at that designated distance. The blue marker pin represents 2170 West Munger Road, or the property. And the small orange circles will be the Verizon cell sites.
Okay. Are these the actual cell site locations?
Yes, so this is Verizon's towers in the area. The zoomed in image there is the surrounding towers in the immediate area of the residence.
So if we look at the bigger scale map that's kind of to the lower right-hand corner, and you look at Metro Detroit, for example, there's parts of it that are just all orange. You can't even see the distinct circle. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Is that an example of when you said there are more towers in urban areas?
That's correct.
Okay. And then the call out there is just the area around the Munger property. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. And can you look and tell us where are the closest towers to the Munger residence?
The closest towers are going to be, by bird's eye view, is going to be directly north of the residence and south with a little bit to the east.
Okay. And I'm going to just point at one here. Is that one of the ones you're referring to?
That's correct.
Okay. That's the one to the north. And what about this one?
Yes.
Okay. So again, this is the phone number, correct?
That's correct.
And then the range of dates that you looked at.
That's correct.
Okay. Is this an example of what the data looks like when you looked at it?
That is correct.
Okay. Can you explain it?
So this is an excerpt of the internet usage report. This is the last activity on this device on the internet side of the records. They're color coded based on session ID. So if you're looking at the first column there, it indicates charging ID. That's a unique Verizon number specifying the session ID or the data session. So every time that's reoccurring, that just indicates that that session renewed and is continuing on and on.
So does that mean that every time the phone connects again, there's a new number for that charging ID?
Yes, if there's a new internet session initiated, it will be a unique identifier under the charging ID.
Okay. All right. And then go on, please.
And the start date and time is indicating the origin of that session when it was originating. And then if there's a reoccurring charging ID or session ID, that's the start and date time is going to be when that renewed. The stop date and time is when one session ends. And if it's a reoccurring session, it'll renew at the exact second that the next or the last one expired.
And if that happens, does that mean that the connection was never lost? If it's a renewing session?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
The record close cause is going to tell us the reason why the record closed out. So you can see there's quite a few there that list time limit. That just indicates that those sessions ran for the maximum amount of time before Verizon needed to re-authenticate that data session and renew. The MSISDN just indicates this record set belongs to that phone number. The megabits is going to be how much data transpired for these sessions. And the ECGI eNote ID, that is just a tower identifier.
Okay. Is this the same data, just in a different order?
Yes, so this is the same information essentially broken up by session ID. So
I
with
wish
the
we
green
could
and
see
the
the
yellow, you
data.
can see that those
I mean,
both
she's
originated the day before,
but-
so April 24th. And they continued on for several renewals or subsessions until they timed out. The orange and the blue and the pink rows at the bottom are all sessions that were single session data access. The bottom row in the highlighted in the pink is the last initiated session by this phone, and that occurred on April 25th at 7:01 in the morning.
Okay.
In
And-
the morning.
It says that the start time was 7:01, the stop time was 7:05. What do those figures tell us?
Because this record close cause indicates it was a normal release, that session lasted approximately 4 to 5 minutes, and it closed out under normal circumstances.
And do you know from this information whether that was a user-generated connection or whether that was a background connection like we talked about earlier?
I have no way to distinguish that.
Okay. All right, but the bottom line here, the last time the phone was active on the network was 7:05.
For this specific record set, yes.
All right, so what do we have here?
This is essentially the records displayed geographically. So as I had mentioned, there were some network performance records that were generated indicating some of the last activity on this device. You can see that there was access on 2 towers, the tower north of the residence and the tower south of the residence. And the timestamps with the asterisk, I don't know if you can see that far, but those are timestamps that have an associated distance measurement, where those distance measurements are displayed along that side of the tower.
And so you have the north tower that we mentioned and the south tower that we mentioned.
Yes.
And then there are 2 sets of arcs. Can you explain those?
So what we have here is what I would call competing towers. So the device is constantly analyzing the network to understand the quality of the signal strength so that if a call were to be initiated, it would know which of these 2 towers is going to provide the best quality of service. And these towers have multiple registrations or interactions with the device, and those interactions have distance measurements away from those towers.
And so the arcs represent the distance that the records are saying the phone was away from the towers.
Correct.
Okay. And why do we have an arc rather than a point?
The arcs are, if the tower is measuring the phone to be 3 miles away from the tower, and we know what side of the tower is being accessed, then we would draw a line along that side of the tower for 3 miles out, and that's why you get a partial circle.
Okay, so if we just had, for example, the north tower, then the bottom arc we wouldn't have at all.
That's correct.
Okay, and vice versa.
Yes,
Okay, so is there an advantage then to having connections to both towers?
there is. So because we have 2 towers communicating with the phone in close proximity in time, where those 2 distance measurements are intersecting is a good indication where that device is expected to be.
Okay, and where is that blue pin located?
The blue pin represents the Munger Farm property.
Okay. Is this a close-up of that?
This is a close-up satellite view of where those arcs are intersecting.
And so why is there a difference of however many feet that may be between the, you've got, going from the bottom left to the top right, you've got 4 pieces of arcs, and you've got 2 coming the other way. Why aren't those like right on top of each other?
It's normal for devices to generate a slight variation in the distances. because essentially the network's measuring the time it takes for the signal to travel. Sometimes the signal might be delayed. If it's not direct line of sight, then that signal might have to take a different path to get to the phone.
Okay, but we don't have any other arcs, do we, other than these that are displayed?
Correct.
Okay. And so does this represent movement of the phone or no?
In this instance, it would be hard to distinguish movement.
All right, so again, all of these are intersecting right where the Munger farm is.
That's correct.
Okay. And that's what the towers are telling you, this is where the phone is.
That's correct.
Now, there are some other times on here. We said that the last time that there was a data session was 7:01. What do the other times represent?
The times indicated here are the tower registrations or the interaction times with the device and these towers.
And so is that when you said that the tower needs to know if a phone is within reach of that tower? So if a call comes in, it knows that the phone is there?
That's correct.
Okay. And when is the last one of those? Is it represented here?
The last interaction would be at 7:14 and 21 seconds.
Okay, that's AM
AM.
on Sunday morning.
Yes.
Okay. So did you also look at the record of her actual voice calls?
I did.
And is that what this represents?
Yes.
Okay, and tell us about this.
So this is an excerpt from the voice activity on the network. The top row there, I know it's kind of hard to see, but the top row is going to be the last outgoing and connected call for this device on the Verizon network. That occurs on April 24th in the evening at approximately 4:47 p.m. And then the subsequent calls are all the incoming calls the next morning that are.
Y'all, I just have to stop on that. You know how I am about words. Georgia, honey. Sorry, rude pause.
Ringing to voicemail.
That's better. Did you just say subsequent? Ma'am, you are putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable. It's subsequent. Am I tripping right now? Subsequent. Okay. I don't think so.
4:47 p.m. And then the subsequent calls are all the incoming calls the next morning that are ringing to voicemail.
So that phone made an outgoing call on Saturday at 4:47. And then after that, every single call was an incoming call.
That's correct.
All right, and you have the duration of those calls?
Yes.
Okay. So in the second to last column, the first incoming call, it says 000003. What does that tell us?
That was a incoming call, and after 3 seconds, it hit the voicemail.
Okay. And then just scrolling down, similar,
Oh.
2, 3, 4, or 5 seconds for all these incoming calls.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
And then at the bottom, you indicate calls handled by voicemail.
Yes.
And what does that indicate?
The bottom section there is a grid of every day that there was a call that was handled by voicemail. So these would be all the unanswered calls that ring to voicemail.
Okay, and just so the jury can be clear, can you read the numbers starting from March 30th?
Yes. So one thing I would like to note here is that there are going to be days in here that should indicate 0. If we're looking at April 1st, there's no column for April 1st. That's because there was 0 calls that rang to voicemail. So I can read March 30th is 20, March 31st is 1, or excuse me, 2. March 31st is 1. April 2nd is 1. April 5th is 2. April 9th is 1.
Yeah, she was
April 10th is
a
2.
phone answerer.
April 12th is 1. April 14th is 1. Excuse me, April 14th is 2.
Look at that.
April 15th, 1. 16th, 2. 19th, 1. 20th is 2. 21st is 1. 22nd is 1. 23rd is 2. 24th is 1. 25th is 75.
75
26th
from
is
1.
43. 27th, 33, and 28th, 16.
Okay, and so there's a pattern here.
Yes.
So you're saying that from the 30th of March through the 24th of April, the most times that phone had a call go through to voicemail was 2 in one day.
Correct.
And then on Sunday the 25th, how many went through to voicemail?
75.
Okay, and did the record say that she ever answered her phone after Saturday the 24th?
No.
Did she ever make a call after Saturday the 24th?
No.
All right, thank you.
Wow. That is very telling, y'all. What are we doing? Oh, is he done?
Good afternoon. Is it Ms. Ziegler?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I was
Oh,
pronouncing it properly.
no.
My name is Mary Chartier. I have some questions for you this afternoon.
We know
So
who you are.
on your report, which Ms. Saylor is getting ready for us, do you have a copy in front of you?
I do not.
Okay, so in case we need it, Ms. Saylor will be able to pull it up. It says last updated with the demonstrative date that you have for us on February 12th, 2026. That would be Thursday, correct?
Correct.
What did you update on it?
I made some adjustments to the slides. I know there was some grammatical errors on the case detail slide. The display of the title on the map slides needed to be adjusted because the white box behind the text wasn't representative, or it was not covering the full text, so you couldn't see the full text.
Was there anything substantive? It sounds like those things are either typos or aesthetics or grammar, anything substantive that you changed.
I don't believe so.
You also indicated that when you are spot checking the software, you recreate key transactions, correct?
Correct.
How long does it take you to recreate key transactions?
It can depend on if there's some issues, like some troubleshooting stuff, but I would say in this case, maybe an hour.
Were there any issues with the software that you needed to troubleshoot?
No.
You had indicated that you got involved in the case to see if anything had been missed. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Was anything missed?
No, anything that I thought that I found as far as an investigative lead would have been relayed to the officer in charge.
So maybe I did not phrase my question properly.
You didn't.
You got involved to see if anything had been missed before your involvement. That's how I understood your response earlier.
I was looking for, at the time, there was no body recovered, so I was essentially looking for records that might help lead to a location.
Were you looking to see if
That makes
another
sense.
analyst had missed something before you, or no? You were just coming in to assist in an investigative lead?
Yes, I was.
The latter? You were coming in to
Horrible
assist,
question.
Yes.
not to see if somebody else had missed something.
Well, when I do my own analysis, it would be an independent analysis. So if my analysis differed from somebody else's, that would be apparent.
Did your analysis differ from someone else's?
It, as far as what?
As far as anything?
No, I don't think I generated anything new.
You also indicated that people sort of spot check your work or check it, correct?
Yes.
Who did that?
This most recent report was peer reviewed by Parker DeGroot and Elizabeth Laundrie.
And when you're saying report, you mean what had been up on the screen?
Yes.
What about your work analyzing the records? Did someone check that?
What do you mean?
Sure. So you put cell tower locations, things like that. Did someone check that work, or were they just looking at your report?
Yes. So when we submit our stuff for a peer review, they'll pull up the case files in our software and regenerate those results.
When you say peer review, this is someone who works with you, correct?
Correct.
Now, Ms. Taylor, would you pull up the report, please, and go to what would be the third page?
We're
Sites
gonna-
in this case, or is this just a random photo?
Oh, yeah,
One of the cell towers that you're talking about in terms of cell sites in this case, or is this just a random photograph?
This is just an example of what a traditional cell site would look like.
Thank you. And then would you go to page 6, please? So if we look on the fourth bullet down, it says the activity displayed is meant to provide an overview of the approximate geographic location. Talk to me about the approximate geographic location. When you show a little button up there that says this is where the device is, how accurate is that? How close to that location is that?
I don't indicate where the device is. I indicate where the towers are that are being accessed by the device. And the device would have to be in the area where the signal could reach for those towers to be accessed.
So when
Nice
you
try.
showed in your report,
I don't
the
think you're
device
going to
being,
trip up
for
Georgia.
instance, on the Munger property. So if you could go to slide 13, please. So we see that little blue dot. Are you saying that's where the device was?
The blue marker pin is just a pin on the map for the property.
Okay. So terrific. That's what I wanted to make sure I understood from your testimony. So that's the Munger property. That's
Pay
where the device
attention.
is located.
That's correct.
You can't, and again, unless things dramatically changed and I'm not keeping up with it, you can't tell us where the device last was connected, like in terms of an actual location.
She said that
I
on
would
her
never be able to
direct.
give you an exact location of where the device is. But when you
Oy,
have instances where there's multiple towers giving distance readings, it's a pretty good indication of where the device is relatively.
Pretty good indication. So how close? So, for instance, on the Munger property, on a neighbor's property, on the road, how precise are you getting?
These arcs are pretty accurate. I believe the industry understanding is within a tenth of a mile.
Within a tenth of a mile?
Yes.
pretty
And is
doggone
that why though
close.
you put the estimated distance from the tower? Because you can't give us an exact location.
Correct.
Now, also on that same slide, you said it's hard to distinguish movement. So you can't tell us, for instance, a phone is going from one location to another.
In this case, no.
Correct. Yeah, and that's, I'm only interested in this case. Thank you. There might be others. Now, also,
Ma'am.
you said there's a slight variation
The
in distances.
snark.
And again, that's why you have to estimate, correct?
Correct.
If you would go, Ms. Saylor, to the next page, page 12, or actually the page before page 12. Thank you. So
Thank
these
you.
times, 7:13, 16, 7:13, 33, those are times that the device is connecting with the towers. Is that accurate?
Yes, those are times that the device is interacting with that specific tower.
And so if I look at the bottom, 7:13, 11, 7:13, 12, so that's 7:13 a.m. in the morning. And then just not even a second later, it's connecting to the north tower, correct? At 7:13, 16, is that what that shows?
Yes.
So why is that? When you talk about cell phone tower strength, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, is it essentially your phone? So I have my phone on me right now. It is just constantly looking for the strongest tower. Is that accurate?
The best quality of service. So it's rating the signal strength and quality.
So I'm not doing anything with my phone right now. You can see that. So, but it's checking in to see what's the best signal, and it's that there's that variation, right? Within a second, it's going from different towers.
These are the interactions between those two towers. We don't get the rating between, like what the device decides is the best between those two unless a call's initiated.
But the device is resonating or reacting to those towers. Is that accurate?
The device is interacting with both towers.
Okay. So almost in some cases simultaneously.
Yes.
Thank you. What are things that affect cell tower signal strength?
Obstructions. So if you're in a concrete building, your signal strength is going to be hindered. Distance away from the tower could lessen the signal strength. If you're not straight out in front of the antenna, the strength's going to be weaker.
So lots of things can factor into it.
Yes.
Can weather?
I don't know of an instance where weather had an effect on my
I
quality
beg
of
to
service.
differ.
What
I have
about the number
many
of people
times
who
had
might be
issues
on their device?
on cloudy days.
So for example, if a lot of people are using the north tower, might it bump me to the south tower?
It could.
Now you had indicated that. We go to page 10, please. The bottom row. This is the last connected data usage for Ms. Warner's device at 7:01:18, correct?
That's correct.
And then the stop time is 7:05:45, right?
Correct.
But you don't know what was going on. You don't know what was happening with the device to register that. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
Now, if we look up 2 rows before that, so the 1 row right up in green, that start time is 1:47:20 and the end time is 7:47:20. Do you know what's going on with that it essentially would be 6 hours?
6 hours is Verizon's maximum amount of time that a session can stay open before needing to re-authenticate with the phone.
So you can have kind of 2 things going on at the same time. This one session that ends on 7:47 and then another activity that begins at 7:01. Is that accurate?
Yes, you can have multiple data sessions running at the same time.
And then you said the final column, the one on the right-hand side, the 22601 and 22609, those are actually the symbols for different, or the numerical symbols for the two different towers that you're referring to.
Yes, the last column is a tower identifier on Verizon's internal side.
Now, you did not analyze Ms. Warner's actual phone, correct?
Correct.
You analyzed the records from Verizon?
Correct.
And I think we already covered this, but the estimates that you showed where the arcs were on your report, you can get us somewhat close, but you cannot pinpoint that location, correct?
Correct.
I have no additional questions. Thank you.
Oh boy. We saw the sheriff walk over there.
10. I just want to quickly do two things. First, the green line second to the bottom, the one that timed out after 6 hours.
Yes.
Okay. So if I'm understanding you correctly, the network remains open to that phone for 6 hours, and if nothing happens, it just times out.
Correct.
Okay. Does that mean that the network has connected to the phone during that time?
What do you mean?
Was the phone connected at 7:47, or was the network just open to the phone if it appeared?
So the last time that session re-authenticated with the phone would have been at 1:47 in the morning, and that session stayed open regardless of if the phone was using that session or not.
Okay. So we know that at 1:47 there was a connection, but after that we don't know.
For that session, correct.
So that session, exactly. Thank you. And then if you could go to 13. So I know you said that all these lines are estimated lines, but I just want to go over how many there are. So on the left-hand side of the page, you've got 713, 33, 71405. And so there's 4 times there, correct?
Correct.
So you've got one line associated with the first 3. Is that correct?
Yes.
And there's one. Okay. So am I correct that there's actually 3 arcs there, 3 estimated arcs, but they're all one on top of the other?
Correct.
Okay. So in other words, the phone, the tower is estimated 3 times that's where the phone was along that arc.
Correct.
Okay. 71316, that's just the one time that the phone estimated, or that the north tower estimated that the phone was just a few feet south.
I know you're summarizing testimony, but it's really leading into leading. Objection.
I understand. I'll do it differently, Your Honor. The 71316 line, could you explain why that is different from the 3 lines that are all together right above it?
At 7:13 and 16 seconds, the signal would have had a slight variation in the timing that it reached the phone.
Okay, and then the same for, you've got on the other side, you've got 708, 704, and 706. Those are just single readings,
Correct.
and each one of those generated an arc coming off the south tower.
That's correct.
Okay, and then 705, 707, 708, 713, 11, 713, 12. There are how many different arcs associated with those timestamps?
That one arc is associated with all those timestamps.
Okay, so 5 times the south tower estimated that that's where the phone was.
That's correct.
Okay, and where these come together is it a good indication of where the phone is physically located?
Correct.
All right, thank you. Nothing further.
Where the crosses are.
The phone, to be
More?
clear, could be anywhere on the arc, correct?
Which arc?
So if we look at 70830, that phone could be anywhere on that arc, correct? That's why you have the line there.
Correct.
And while Mr. McCready asked you about lines coming together, your testimony when I talked to you was it would be an estimate, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. No additional questions.
Oh, but the jury has questions.
All right, can counsel approach have some questions?
Oh boy. I'm so excited about this all the time, y'all. I know I keep saying that, but this is just I'm fascinated with the interaction.
We have 3 questions from jurors. It's my understanding that the attorneys are in agreement that they all may be asked.
That's correct, Your Honor. Thank you.
So the first question is, in what ways would a cell phone lose all contact with a cell phone tower?
So if a cell phone's losing contact with the network or a single tower, I can answer both. If it's losing contact with a tower, it could be because it's out of range of that specific tower. If it's losing contact with all towers, an example of that would be if your phone died, if it was placed into airplane mode, if it was destroyed, if it was powered off, or if it was out of range too.
Good
If the
question.
end time for one session is 7:05 a.m., why are the ARCs saying 7:13 a.m.?
So those are two separate data sets. The end time 705, that was the data session itself. So you're just getting the access on the side of the tower. And the 713, 714 are associated to the ARC. So those are the network essentially sending signals to the device. Those signals are timed. And based on the timing of those signals, those distances are provided.
Can you tell if the phone was on at a certain time? If so, was it on at 7:47 a.m.?
At 7:47 a.m., there were no records indicating that the phone was on the network anymore.
Mr. Lucas, anything
Interesting.
else in follow-up to those questions?
This jury's paying attention. I like it. I like it a lot, y'all.
So when is the last time that you are certain that the phone was connected to the network?
At 7:14.
Okay, thank you.
So you referred to two towers, if we refer to them as north and south. When you did your analysis, you did not have the device connecting to another tower after the north and south towers that we have in your presentation, correct?
Correct.
And then just one last question, because I want to make sure I'm clear on it. So a data session,
Whatever.
if I were to Google when a movie starts, would that be a data session on my phone?
If you're not connected to Wi-Fi, yes.
Okay, so because based on the question that you were asked, you said the data session is different than the device signal when it's connecting to the tower. Could you explain that for us a little bit?
The difference between the data sessions and the tower registrations?
Yes.
So the data sessions are going to be usage on the Verizon network that's billable to the customer. And the network performance stuff that has the distance readings from those towers, those are all Verizon generated records.
What are examples of data sessions?
An example of a data session would be if you pull up your phone and are using an app that accesses the internet, if you get an email notification, if you're browsing the web, if you're watching a video on YouTube, things of that nature.
So the last data session ended at roughly 7:05, but then the device continued to connect with the towers until late, soon after that, right? 7:13, I believe.
Correct.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Georgia is having none of any shenanigans.
May Ms. Ziegler be excused from her subpoena?
She
and may we approach Carrie briefly?
You may. Thank you.
she
You are-
says, y'all aren't trying to trip me up. I'm not playing. Let's zippity doo dah to the next part here. Let me get the right person.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty for perjury.
I do.
Okay, you can have a seat.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Could you please tell us your name and spell it for the record?
Devin Newell, Devin Newell.
All right, thank you. And where do you work?
I work for General Motors.
And what position do you have?
My title is Senior Manager and Senior Technical Expert.
All right, and does your job have anything to do or any interaction with OnStar?
It certainly does. My primary role is to investigate the field performance of our advanced driver assist systems. That's a fancy word for automatic emergency braking, forward collision alert, super cruise. So as I investigate how those things are operating in the field, a lot of what I do is look about data that comes from those vehicles. Some of that data is contained inside modules inside the vehicle. Other data that we look at comes through telematics, or said differently, sent from the vehicle back to servers. So OnStar is the general name for a lot of the services that we provide at General Motors. It's also a general term used for data that leaves the vehicle and gets sent to some servers.
Okay. And how does OnStar record the data?
There's a lot of different data that OnStar records, and there's a lot of different features that OnStar provides for customers as well. I think many folks are aware of some of the interaction with, we have live advisors. So if your vehicle is involved in an accident, if you have that type of subscription service with us, we can, the vehicle can automatically call an advisor, and that advisor can come and get assistance sent to your vehicle. While that type of work is going on, Data can come from the vehicle and sent to the back office as well. That's one kind of service that OnStar provides that many folks are aware of. Another more common service that we have relates to applications that you can get downloaded onto your mobile phone. I use the term OnStar mobile app. Depending upon what vehicle you'll have, it may have a Cadillac mobile app or a Chevy mobile app associated with that. On that mobile app, we allow you to do lots of interactions between your phone and the vehicle. One that lots of folks are familiar with is the ability to remote start the vehicle from your phone. You can use that type of interaction with that. That's a different set of data. As you are interacting with that mobile application on your phone, the OnStar or Cadillac app that's on your phone, we collect data regarding what the customer is doing and how they're doing it. We primarily collect that data to understand how our customers are using their features, to understand if there's problems with them, and or to develop better features and new features in the future.
You mentioned the My Cadillac app. What does that particularly do?
It does a number of different things. Again, it's an app on your phone, like a lot of different apps. It can allow you to press buttons on it to remote start your vehicle, honk your horns, unlock the vehicle, lock the vehicle. It allows you to also understand the status of your vehicle, how much oil life you have left, how much tire pressure is in your air, how much fuel is left. You can also use it to understand the location of your vehicle. You can also use it to buy products. You can also use it to set up a map from where you are to where you'd like to go. Those are a lot of the features that this OnStar mobile app on your phone, some of them that you can do.
So you mentioned, diagnostic things that the vehicle itself would transmit to OnStar, and you keep those records. Do you also keep records of the person who's using the My Cadillac app on your site in OnStar?
If you have an OnStar account with us, an OnStar subscription, like a lot of other subscriptions you may have on your phone or in your vehicle, we have account information. We know who is on the account. We know your address, things like that. We
tell us more.
And relative to the phone that's being used, we collect certain information that helps us understand the phone that you have, what type of phone that you have. Again, so we can understand if a particular phone or is having issues with our apps and understand how to make more features based on the type of phone that you may have.
Were you asked to produce the records? In this case, they had to do with the Cadillac Escalade?
That's correct. A search warrant was sent to General Motors for a particular 2016 Cadillac, asking for information that we may have, records that we may have relative to OnStar services and features we provided to this particular 2016 Cadillac Escalade.
Okay. And equals 224.
Manipulate the paper.
Oh, Lord, that's a big old.
It's okay. I'm going to move this microphone just a little bit to allow me to manipulate the paper. Thank you. Look familiar to the. Okay.
All right, do you recognize what I just handed you?
I do. These look familiar to the records and accounts that we provided, printed out over obviously a large number of papers.
Okay. You know approximately how many pages there are there?
A lot.
Over 400 or so. I know some of the records were 80, 60, 70 pages long, 120 pages long. I didn't count the exact number, but you can see by the height and weight, there's a lot.
The top page is actually the last page in there, and it's a bait stamp.
I do see this page here. Down at the bottom, there's a bait stamp of OnStar. The last three digits are 583.
What does that indicate to you?
We label all of the documents we provide you. We start with a 1, and then we end with the last one that we have here. If this is the last page, that would say that there's 583 pages produced as part of the response to that search warrant.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to show you what's People's 29. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What is it?
That would be a representation of the OnStar mobile app that would have been available in the April 2021 timeframe.
Oh, yay!
Like a lot of apps on your phone, depending on what type of phone you have, exactly how it looks may be a little bit different. But that's how,
very fancy.
That's how it would have looked for 2016 Escalade in April of 2021 for an iPhone 12 Pro Max.
Okay, so the display would be different depending on what device you were using to the software on?
Yeah, that's correct. If you had a much older version of an iPhone, it may look a little bit different. We'll also let you use iPads and devices like that too. So depending on just length and width and height of the phone, it changes a little bit. I think all folks kind of understand what you had on your first iPhone 2 is probably different than an iPhone. I think 17 is the latest one now, may look a little bit different.
Okay. All right, so I'm zooming in on the bottom part of this. And can you explain the various icons here?
Yes, these are examples I talked about before of buttons. I call them buttons you can press on your phone to have certain features occur here. You can certainly see the start in the middle. That's to remote start your vehicle. You can also see a sound alarm, stop the alarm, lock and unlock. Those are the 5 icons there.
Okay. And do you know, does the software require you to put your finger on there for a certain time before we'll activate that button?
That's correct. In the engineering terms, we call it a debounce time. We don't, we try to prevent buttons from being accidentally hit. So for these buttons here, the bounce time is about 500 milliseconds, around half a second. It's not a lot of time, but enough time where it works to make sure we understand you're pressing it, but not so easy that you accidentally press it.
Okay. All right. And on the bottom here is a view more button. What happens if you push that?
If you hit the view more button, that would allow you there. These are 5 kind of commands on the main screen there. If you hit view more, it would keep those 5 and show you other ones like flash alarms and things like that.
Okay. How do you get to this screen here?
Go back to the first page. Down at the very light.
Oops, sorry.
Down in the lower right-hand corner, there's it looks like 9 buttons there. It also says the word more on it there as well. There you go. You'd hit that button there, and that would take you to the second screen that you had up there.
Okay. And so these are more options?
That's correct.
All right. I'm particularly interested in the second one. What is that?
If you hit that button, vehicle locate, it would then cause another screen to pop up that would show you the location of your vehicle as part of a map.
Wow.
Interesting enough, if you also hit the navigation button, that would pop up the same thing. It would show you where you're at. The navigation would allow you then to enter an address as to where you need to go. So
how
both
many
vehicle locate and
times,
navigation
Dale baby,
will
pay
pull up a
attention
screen
to
that
this?
looks like this one here.
On your end in OnStar, do those register as different things if you're trying to locate the vehicle versus pull up a map?
Relative to the reports and how we restore them, they look the same. They look as a get vehicle location is the primary aspect of it.
Okay. And is this a map of essentially what it would
This
look
is
like?
the screen that we provided you. This is the Warren Technical Center at General Motors Warren Technical Center in Warren. This is a representation of a vehicle that's sitting on our campus there in Warren.
Okay. All right. So the records that you produced, were they over a date range?
That's correct. Based on the search warrant, we were asked to look for and produce records. The beginning start time is January 1st, 2020 through April 28th, 2021.
Okay. And do your records indicate the type of device that is using the My Cadillac app?
It's on a couple different pages here. You were asking me about vehicle location. So if I take you to first to a report up the top, it says SRT 110, OnStar records request for branded app vehicle commands. Okay. On this particular report, as again, we record information relative to interactions with the vehicle. This particular report captures interactions with, term here says branded app, but the OnStar app on your phone or the Cadillac app on your phones. When you're doing one of the vehicle commands that we previously talked about, lock, unlock, flashlight, or vehicle location requests, we would record those as part of this here. In the very right-hand column, it says device ID. So for each mobile type device that you have, once you start using it, we assign it a device ID. Okay, it's unique device ID to the device that you're using. It's not the cell phone of the device you're using. There are other electronic information inside a cell phone or an iPad that may be unique to that. We don't have a need to record that as part of our work, so we give it a General Motors-based device ID here. To answer your question, the far right column is the device ID.
Okay. And so if do you record when somebody makes an account, do they have to give their name and address and all that?
That's correct.
Okay. Did that happen here?
Yes, it did.
This guy is such an engineer.
I could take you to page 3 of 9. I'm going to call it SRT 040, account details. I take you to the third page of this document that you're.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Like many apps that you have, subscription services that you may have, up at the top there, we put in the upper right-hand corner, there's the account number associated with the account here. We have the vehicle identification number, the VIN. That's a 17-digit number that's unique to a particular vehicle. The requesting authority, this TC 982272, that's simply a number General Motors assigned to the search warrant that we received here. We've got a search start date and an end date here. Those are the dates I previously referenced here. And then the other information here is, as it kind of almost plainly says account information. We tell you when it was opened, we tell you the status, we identify it in this case as a personal account versus like a commercial account. We identify the owners of the account and their phone numbers here, as well as an address.
Okay, and the account owners here?
I see two account owners associated with it. The first is Dale Warner, and the second is Dee Warner.
Okay. All right, and then
Ding,
if we go
ding,
back to the records that you were just mentioning before with the device ID,
Mhm.
which report was that?
SRT 110.
And I just want to ask about, for example, here we have at the top, we've got a device ID ending in 36F4. I'm sorry, let me just go back to the very first
I'm
page.
also
here.
on page,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, there we go.
page 1 there. There's a device ID here. It's got a lot of digits here, but we'll say to the last 4, FD96.
Okay. And who generates that device ID?
That device ID, General Motors generates that. It's unique to the device that's being logged in. Again, it's not the phone number, it's not a serial number of the device. We just assign our own device ID to it, so we understand what type of device we're using to, but not necessarily recording the customer's phone number or other information as part of that.
Okay, so that is a unique device. You don't ever give that number to another device.
That's correct.
Okay. All right, and do you know also what type of devices are using the app?
We do. If I take you to the last page of our production here, page 583. This is a bit of decoder ring for that information. The first column is the device ID. We tell you when that device ID first logged in. We tell you when our last login or last known login of that device is. What version of app is being run on it, what carrier is being used, Verizon versus AT&T, device type, and then this device model and device name can help you understand what type of device it was.
Okay, and so do you see that first device that we were just talking about listed in the device IDs?
Yes, FD96. I see that as a device model iPhone 7,2. That's how Apple identifies it. The brand or marketing name for that one is actually an iPhone 6.
All right, and so there are 4 different device models that you have in your records. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, and can you pick us from the top and tell us what kinds of devices those are?
Sure. An iPad 6,8. That's iPad Pro. iPhone 7,2. That's an iPhone 6. iPad 6,8. Again, that's iPad Pro. The last one, iPhone 13,4. The marketing name for that would be an iPhone 12 Pro Max.
Okay. All right, so and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but each device, even if it's on the same account, is going to get a different device ID.
That's correct.
Okay.
I bet Dale's is the iPhone 6.
Does a user have to generate a username?
When you, yes, they do.
Okay.
When you're logging on to many apps that you have a username and a password that you have to generate to use.
And is it up to the user what username they select?
Yes, it is.
Okay, is there a username or one or more usernames here?
I'm going to take you to SRT 120. At the top, it says SRT 120, OnStar records request for branded app, login activity.
Okay.
67 pages here. The second column here is the username associated with the app on the phone.
And was there one or more than one username?
I think there's close to 1,000 different login applications here, and only one username is inside of these.
Okay. And what is that username?
Just reading from the second column there, WARAG@me.com.
Okay. Now, does OnStar record the number of times that the someone tried to locate the vehicle?
Yes, we do. SRT 110, I had this up previously, SRT 110, OnStar records request for branded app, vehicle commands. So this report, about 82 pages long, identifies all the vehicle commands or requests made from the mobile app from January 1st, 2020 through April 28th, 2021.
Okay. And how many pages did you say this report is? Just
82 pages. I believe the total number of requests is in excess of 2,100.
okay. And that's 2,100 what's?
21 individual commands being pressed into the phone for on the mobile app.
Okay. You said 21 or 2100?
2100.
Okay. And
2100.
okay, great. And so 2100 times what happened?
Well, in these vehicle commands, there are three type of commands, having studied the report, three different types of commands being made here. The majority of them are requests to get vehicle location. If I take you to the fourth column over there, request type, get vehicle location. So from the mobile app that was shown earlier, that would be either hitting the more button to get to the second screen, and then hitting vehicle location and or hitting navigation. So if a customer did those, that would be recorded as a single line in this sheet here. Additionally, there are, I want to make sure I say the word properly here. Let me find an example of it.
2,100 commands, and a majority of those were find the location of the Cadillac. This man was absolutely obsessed.
All right, if I take you to page 82 of 82. And again, under request type, we already talked about get vehicle location. There's a request type for get vehicle data, and there's also a request type for unlock doors. Those were the three vehicle commands or requests that were made in this 82-page report over the 16-month period we were talked. Get vehicle location, as we talked about, provides the location on a map that we said. Get vehicle data, that was one of the other buttons on the main screen there. Again, it shows you things like tire pressure, oil life, fuel remaining. And then lastly, unlock doors. I think it's fairly self-explanatory. You press that button there, and it would work to unlock the doors of the vehicle.
So as you look at these, the get vehicle location is either someone asking where the vehicle is or someone asking to get to the navigation screen.
That's correct.
Okay. And as you look at these records, let's go back to the first page, for example. We have all the ones that are shown on the screen here look like it's the same device doing these requests.
That's correct.
Okay. And can you, as you've looked at these, can you give us a summary of this particular device and how often it did it get vehicle location request out of our 82 pages, for example?
Throughout the 82 pages, there's primarily three devices that are used to do this. I mentioned them before, an iPhone 6, an iPad Pro, and an iPhone 12 Pro Max. The majority of the requests, I think over 1,700, if I counted roughly properly, are from an iPhone 6. There's roughly 150 or more to the iPad Pro. And then finally, somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 done with iPhone 12 Pro Max.
Okay. Let's go to
Wow.
page.
I keep bopping my
77.
microphone. Sorry, y'all. I'm getting flustered with all this information.
Actually, no, 78 of SRT 110.
Okay, page 78 with you.
All right, so you see we've got a request start time and a request end time. And you've got a number of records on March 4th.
That's correct.
Okay, and then it skips to March 22nd.
That's correct.
All right, is there a device switch between the 4th and the 22nd?
Yes, if you look at the device ID, which is the last column, looking only at the last four digits to make it a little bit easier for us, you can see that all the requests on March 4th on this date were done by device ID 36F4, and there are no requests between March 4th and March 5th and March 21st, but on March 22nd, 2021, it now switches to device with the last four digits 17F7.
I'm sorry. So March 4th.
What just happened?
36F4. When we get to, there's nothing between then and the 22nd, and it switches to 17F7. Is that correct?
17F7, that is correct,
Okay.
beginning on March 22nd.
All right. And do you have handy what kind of device was 17F7?
17F4 was iPhone 13-4. Again, the commercial name for that is iPhone 12 Pro Max.
Is that 17F7?
17F7.
Okay, great. Thank you. And to your knowledge, did that device appear before March 22, 2021?
No, it did not.
Okay, so that's the first appearance. Does any device appear between March 22nd, 2021 and the end of your records? So
The only device from March 22nd through the end of our records which ends on April 25th, 2021, is the device ID 17F7, iPhone 12 Pro Max.
Okay. And how many vehicle locates did it do between March 22nd and April 25, 2021?
I counted those. I believe that to be 59 vehicle location requests in that time frame.
Okay. I also mentioned
Whoa.
that your records indicate
I got to back this up. 59. Ah, Janet. See what I just did? I jacked us all up. I hit the wrong stinking button. Ay, ay, ay.
110. I had this up previously. SRT 110 on
100.
Leave it to me.
for on the and then hitting vehicle location and
I'll
or
get
hitting
us there.
navigation.
And to your knowledge, did that device
17F4 was iPhone 13-4.
All right, just about there.
The
Sorry.
commercial name for that is iPhone 12 Pro Max.
is that 17F7?
17F7.
Okay, great, thank you. And to your knowledge, did that device appear before March 22, 2021?
No, it did not.
Okay, so that's the first appearance. Does any device appear between March 22nd, 2021 and the end of your records?
The only device from March 22nd through the end of our records, which ends on April 25th, 2021, is the device ID 17F7, iPhone 12 Pro Max.
Okay. And how many vehicle locates did it do between March 22nd and April 25, 2021?
I counted those. I believe that to be 59 vehicle location requests in that time frame.
Okay. I also mentioned that your records indicate whenever someone uses the app to unlock the car, correct?
That's correct.
And how many times in this, from January 1, 2020 till April 25, 2021, was the app used to unlock the car?
In that entire time frame, roughly 16 months, it was only used to unlock the door twice.
Okay. And when was the first one?
Wow.
March 25th, 2021,
And when was the second one?
April 25th, 2021.
And what time?
April 25th, 2021, 7:08:38 a.m.
Okay. And was that also by the device ending in 17F7?
That is correct.
The same device?
Whoa. They want us to pay attention to the timeline. Y'all, I'm paying attention to the timeline. And oh, look what I have done again. Oh, for heaven's sake, Janet. This is not good for Dale. So 7:08, I'm typing my notes here. See, this doesn't happen when I write them instead of typing them. The doors were unlocked from whatever phone, the iPhone 12, who it belonged to. Yeah, 7:08 a.m. car unlocked. Wow.
Request out of our 82 pages, for example.
Throughout the 82 pages, there's primarily 3 devices that are used to
Locate the vehicle.
That's correct.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, I jacked us all up. So, oh, is he done?
Locate the vehicle. 17F7,
That is correct.
the same device that had been used at previous 59.
All right.
Only used to unlock the door twice.
Okay.
There
And
we
when
go.
was the first one?
March 25th, 2021,
And when was the second one?
April 25th, 2021.
And what time?
April 25th, 2021, 7:08:38 a.m.
Okay. And was that also by the device ending in 17F7,
That is correct.
the same device that had been used the previous 59 times to locate the vehicle?
That's correct.
All right, thank you.
Wow. I think we have McSnarky coming again.
Good afternoon, is Mr. Newell. Am I
Yes, it is.
pronouncing
Good
that
afternoon.
correctly?
You did pronounce it correctly.
Thank you. My name is Mary Chartier. Ms. Saylor is going to pull up the government's Exhibit 29, which would be our page 32. You do an excellent job marketing OnStar with all the different things that it can do. So I want to ask you about some of its features. You know the photograph of the app that was pulled up. Ms. Saylor is pulling that up for us right now, correct?
Uh,
Mr. McCready just showed it.
Yeah, yes, it is.
So
Yes.
while she's pulling it up, did it look like that in 2021? Do you
yes,
know?
that's what it would have looked like on an iPhone 12 Pro Max April 2021.
And then would you go to the next page for us?
That's what he testified to. Why does she do this? This
So
is like
the more button, which has things like Explore EV, is that what that looked like in 2021 as well?
If that's the second slide we put up, that's what it would have looked like at that point in time.
Okay, so Cadillac had electronic vehicles at that time?
Yes, we did.
Okay, terrific. So if you could go back to the other one. So this would be a good representation of what it would look like on the phone. Accurate?
That's correct.
Now, do you use, be careful with your answer, right? Do you use OnStar?
I do.
Okay, great. If you said no, that might have a different job you're looking for. So do you use it to like track a vehicle location? So for your children, a spouse, a partner, something like that to see where they are?
I don't use the OnStar app for that particular purpose, no.
Okay, have you ever used it for that?
No.
Okay. So you may not be the person for me to ask that, but so this is what I'm going to ask, and maybe you can talk me through it. So you said you don't use it for that particular.
if ever there were a time that an attorney needed to pay attention to, don't ask a witness a question you don't know how they're going to answer to. Oh, Mary McSnarky. Oh, you so deserved that. No, I don't use it for that. Have you ever used it for that? No.
Purpose. What do you use OnStar for?
Remote starting my vehicle on cold winter mornings is one of the primary ones.
That's smart.
Unlocking it on my way out to the vehicle could be another. I occasionally use it to download navigation information to the vehicle. My vehicle currently happens to be an electric vehicle, so I use that to understand my current state of charge and how well it's charging.
Okay, terrific. So then you use it enough for me to ask you this. So if you want to get into that, there's an app on your phone. You press that app. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
And then that screen will come up, or something that looks like it.
Assuming that you're logged in.
Right.
Okay. If you can set this up to continuously leave you logged in, or you can set it up that you have to log in every time. I have my one that I used for my company vehicle always logged in, so it pops up to a screen. My GMC Denali looks different than this, but fundamentally an opening screen that like this pops up when I hit the app on my phone.
So then if you wanted to find where a vehicle was, what would you press?
I'd hit the more button.
Okay, so you'd hit the more button, and then you'd go to the next screen. And then you would hit what?
Vehicle locate.
Vehicle
More
locate.
common.
So I was a little confused when you said that navigation, so it would show up on a singular line. Could you explain what you mean by that?
What?
When you talked about get vehicle data and navigation, and I was a little confused about your testimony.
Sure. There's two
wasn't
buttons up here.
confusing
One
at
that
all.
really says vehicle locate. The other one says navigation. If you press either one of those things, as it gets reported into this thing here, it looks the same. It would still say get vehicle location. Of course, one of the reasons for that is when you're going to start navigation, you need to know where you're at in order to get where you're at. So the first thing it does is figures out, get your vehicle location, and then you can set up a navigation from there.
So if I were driving the car and I wanted to navigate, and I pressed navigation, and then it told me how to get to a particular place, it would show up in the report as get vehicle location.
Yes, if you were driving a vehicle and hit navigation and then enter it into, to use it, you'd have to enter in the location that you want to go to. On this report here, it would say, look the same. It would say get vehicle location.
Thank you. Now you said and I'd never heard this phrase before, the debounce time was half a second.
That's correct.
Okay, so that's the amount of time essentially you're pressing the button.
That's correct.
Might it take a little bit for things to load? So when I was looking at the report, sometimes there were things almost going on simultaneously. So for instance, if somebody pressed get vehicle location or navigate, and then, well, actually it would be vehicle locate. So either vehicle locate or navigation. Then it was taking a little while. Does that happen sometimes where it takes a little while to load?
When I hit the button, if I reach the 500 millisecond times, yes, it could take a little while for it to load. It has to locate your vehicle. Okay. It has to make a request to the vehicle to find it. And it could, everybody who knows who's tried to make a cell phone call, they don't always go through the first time. It could take some time to find it. Yes.
Can I press the button again while I'm waiting for it to load if I'm an impatient person?
You certainly can.
And then the report shows hour, minutes, and second that the request began, correct?
That's correct.
And then it shows when the request ends.
That's correct.
It also shows a duration.
That's correct.
Is it accurate that the duration rounds up or down? So for instance, some of them, I looked at one, it said 15.783, but then if you look at the actual start and end time, it rounds up to 16.
That's correct. The request and start times are rounded to seconds, whereas the request duration is in seconds taken to hundreds of seconds.
Thank you.
I
Does
think
OnStar have a lock?
an answer to this question that Eve has. I believe Dale got a new phone shortly before this incident all happened. And so that's why you saw the new device ID that what was it? 17F7. That was a new iPhone ID that was assigned by General Motors. And so I think he had the 7, the iPhone, which was actually an iPhone 6. And he ended up getting an iPhone 12 on March 25th. And that's the interaction and the data you're going to hear and see them bring in for that 1 month time span. That's what I'm guessing and surmising, that those pieces are going to be put together for us.
Out prevention. So if I leave my keys in the car, can I lock it?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So by using, how would I do that? So I leave my keys in the car. How do I lock it?
You would use the OnStar app, and many folks do this. It's not to carry their keys around. You would leave your keys in the car. You'd open up the OnStar app. You'd hit the lock button. You'd wait for it to lock. A lot of times you stand there and wait for the click, and you hear the vehicle lock.
Thank you. And then with all the amazing things that OnStar can do, it cannot tell you who is exactly pushing the button, correct?
No, we can't.
And it certainly can't tell you why, correct?
Their intention behind pressing the button? No.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you, sir. No further questions.
Do the records reflect anything different if you access the map for navigation? Is there any difference at all? If you
As it relates to these records, we see that as a get vehicle location request, and that's how we record it here relative to vehicle commands.
Okay. We mentioned the iPhone Pro Max.
iPhone 12 Pro Max.
iPhone 12 Pro Max. The iPhone 6, is it correct that that does not show up anymore after the iPhone 12 Pro Max starts accessing the record or the app?
That's correct. Looking at the SRT 110, starting in March 22nd,
There it is.
2021,
Boom.
all the vehicle commands are done by the iPhone 12 Pro Max and not done by any iPad or any iPhone 6.
Great, thank you.
There you go.
I just, I have probably 2 quick questions for you. So if I press the vehicle locate button, that will show me where it is at a given time, correct?
That's correct.
If I leave the screen open, will it show the vehicle move, or do I have to press again to see if the vehicle moves?
At this time, you'd have to press the button a second time to see where it's at.
Great, thank you.
I think we're done. May we excuse Mr. Newell from his speech?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you for your time, sir. You're free to go. Thank you.
Okay, I don't know what happened in the court here. There was a long I think they were arguing about some evidence, and I'm going to skip it. Normally I would watch it, but I'm really trying to make sure that we keep our juror hats on, and the jury would not hear these arguments about whatever statements and everything. So I'm trying to keep us as pure as possible on what the judge rules. So I'm going to try to get us to the right person. Here we go. All righty. Y'all ready for this will probably be the last witness that we do today. I don't think there was anyone else after her. So
As much as possible so that we can all hear.
Good afternoon. Please tell us your name and spell it for the record.
Yes, my name is Madison Wolf. It's MADISONWOLF.
And do you go by Madison or something else?
Maddie.
Okay. And do you know Dee Warner?
Yes.
How did you know her?
I started working for her back in 2015, I believe. I was like a personal assistant and a nanny.
And how old were you at that point in time?
16.
Okay, so still in high school?
Mhm.
Okay. You have to say yes or no. Sorry.
Yes, sorry.
And I mean, how did you even know Dee at that point in time?
So I started 4-H. My parents had separated, so I was trying to find something to do. And then during 4-H, she needed someone to work for her, so I introduced myself, and it kind of just went from there.
And what kinds of things did you do?
I watched Alina. She kind of had different tasks for me to do. I'd work in the office. I would clean the home, go with her, get groceries, stuff like that.
Okay. And what kind of a schedule? Was it just random, or did you have a set schedule?
She was really good with working with my schedule, but it was like a Monday through Friday thing.
Okay, so every day during the week you're over there.
Mhm. Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
And what about weekends?
I would go over and hang out with her on the weekends.
Okay. So did you develop a personal relationship with her then?
Correct.
And tell us about that.
She was like a mom to me. She really stepped up when I needed somebody. So
You indicated your parents were going through a divorce.
correct.
Okay. Did Dee kind of step in then?
Correct.
All right. And so would you do things, besides just at the house? Like if they went on vacation, would you watch the house or what would you do?
I did go on vacation with them to Disney.
Okay. Once or more than once?
Just the one time.
And when you watched Lena, what kinds of things would you do with Lena?
It just depends. Like we would cook, we would bake, we would go outside. I would take her to the store, stuff like that.
Okay. And would you do things just with Dee?
No, it was usually with Lena too.
Okay. Oh, also with Lena.
Mhm.
Okay. And what kinds of things would the three of you do?
Shopping.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the big one.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you were close to her?
Yes.
How would you describe her as a person?
Very loving. She would back you in any situation possible.
Aw.
Kind-hearted, very strong woman.
Okay. Would you describe her as tech savvy?
Not necessarily. I mean, she wasn't really good with electronics. I tended to help her with a lot of that.
Okay. Passwords. How was she on remembering passwords?
Not good at all. I actually memorized most of her passwords because she would get logged out.
Okay. Did you ever drive an Escalade with her?
Like ride in the Escalade?
Correct.
Correct.
About how many times? A couple times or almost weekly or what?
Weekly.
Okay. Did you ever see her use her phone for navigation?
Yes.
And do you know what kind of app that she would use to navigate?
Just the Apple map on
Okay.
the phone.
Did you ever see her use My Cadillac for navigation?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did you ever see My Cadillac even on her phone?
Not that I'm aware of.
Ah.
And how many hours do you think you would be at the Munger residence on a normal day, like a normal weekday?
It depends. Like I would go to school. I'd get off at 3. I'd hang out there until maybe 7 or 8 o'clock. And then sometimes I would stay or sometimes I'd go back home.
So sometimes you would spend the night.
Correct.
Okay. And was that just a random thing or would there be specific instances where you'd stay the night?
It started off when I would just watch Lena and she'd be going out. I would stay with Lena. But then it kind of just sometimes I was just staying to hang out.
Okay. You mentioned shopping was a big event. What would you do with the purchases when you got home?
Sometimes we would leave them in the car or I would take them up through the attic and put them in the one of the rooms upstairs.
Okay, which car would you normally take?
The Cadillac
And where would you park it when you got back, normally speaking?
in the garage.
And so sometimes you would leave the purchases in the Escalade.
Correct.
Why would you leave them in there?
D
Objection, speculation, and hearsay.
If you know for your own personal knowledge.
from what she had told me.
Is that how you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then I will move on. You said the other thing you did was to take them up to the attic, if I got that correctly?
Correct.
And what does that mean?
Like I would go through the garage up to the attic.
To hide
so
it
Dale wouldn't see
from
the
Dale.
purchases.
Objection, move to strike based on hearsay and speculation.
Okay, I agree.
So I'll sustain the objection and strike that answer directly, not to consider that.
Could you just tell us, without what anybody said, what you actually did when you went through the attic?
I would walk up the stairs. I would open the door, walk up the stairs, and then I'd have to go through another door to get to the house.
Okay, and this was with the packages and the things that you bought when you were shopping?
Correct.
Okay.
Was it
And
okay
what
for
would you do with
Dale
them?
to see you?
You took them up through the attic. Would you leave them in the attic then?
No, it would go into a bedroom.
In which bedroom?
The one with the pool table,
Is that the first floor or second floor?
second floor.
And access to the attic, where was that? Where would you get to the attic from?
So when you went up the stairs, there was
Where do the stairs start? I guess that's what I'm asking.
from the garage or from the inside of the house.
So where would you access them after you get out of the Escalade? Where do you go?
Yes. So in the garage, there was 2 steps to get into the house. Instead of going through the door straight, you would take the door to the left, and then there'd be like a staircase up that way.
Okay, so you could get to the attic without going into the house, is what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay, and that's the way you would go.
Correct.
Perfect.
Interesting.
Did you have a chance to observe the state of Dale and Dee's marriage?
Yes.
How would you describe it?
In the beginning, I didn't know them that well, so it seemed like it was okay. And then over time, you could see that it was more of like a business-oriented relationship.
Okay. What kinds of things did you observe that made you make that conclusion?
They were always arguing about money
Okay, and how often would you say always was?
weekly.
Okay, and you observed these arguments?
Correct.
Did you observe Dale trying to touch Dee,
Yes.
and what was her reaction?
You could tell she was grossed out by it. Just kind of. I don't know.
Based on speculation.
Could you just I'll ask a different question?
All right, so sustain.
Could you describe exactly what she would do?
She would pull away.
Okay, thank you. Was there ever talk of divorce from Dee?
Yes.
And how often?
She would bring it up quite a bit to me
Okay. And was this over this whole time you knew her or what?
in the last 3 years before she went missing.
Okay. And did you observe them arguing, you said?
Yes.
Can you describe how that went?
It was more like Dee talking about a situation. She had a very stern voice when she talked, and then Dale would kind of just sit there and listen, and then sometimes he would get upset.
Okay. And can you describe, so what Dee was doing, can you describe that in physical terms?
Can you rephrase that?
Sure. I mean, you said that Dee seems like the initiator of these arguments.
Mhm.
What would she do?
She talked with her hands a lot.
Okay. And can you tell us what she did with her hands?
She'd usually like have them up or like point and stuff.
Okay. And you said Dale was
Gesticulate.
calm at first?
Yeah, he would just kind of stand there with hands down.
Okay. And did you see him sometimes act in a way that wasn't calm?
Yes.
And describe that.
There was one time where he had like grabbed her shoulders. Oh,
okay.
Sorry.
So to the police, you used.
What was that all about? Oh, there has to be some sort of commotion in Lemonade. We got to back
Describe
that up.
Hands down.
Okay. And did you see him sometimes act in a way that wasn't calm?
Yes.
And describe that.
There was one time where he had like grabbed her shoulders. Oh,
okay.
Sorry.
So to the police, you used.
Oh, did he not just ask her that? I'm so lost. What are we
Let
doing?
me move on from there. Sorry. Did you ever see Dale talking in a way to Dee that you didn't like?
He would talk like he would almost yell like stern, if that's
Okay.
what you're asking.
Yes. Explain that.
I can't remember like a specific like what like word for word what was said. It was just more of a very stern to yelling.
Okay. Would he call her names?
Not that I can recall.
Okay. Did he call you names?
Depends on what you mean by names.
Okay. What did he have a nickname for you that you didn't like?
Objection, relevance.
It's relevant to their interaction.
The issue is the relationship between Ms. Warner and Mr. Warner, not Mr. Warner and Ms. Wolf.
Well, if she was present for arguments and this was happening in that context, I think there's some evidence, so I will overrule that objection.
Okay. Did he have a nickname for you that you didn't like?
Yes,
What did he call you?
Fluffy.
And what did that mean to you?
I used to be severely overweight, and so that's something that he would call me.
And what does fluffy mean?
Oh,
There was a comedian, a Hispanic comedian, that he would refer it to.
Did you ever use the? Do you know what the sleeping
how
arrangements were
awful.
between Dale and Dee?
Yes.
What were they?
Most of the time, Dee slept on the couch, and Dale would sleep in the bedroom.
And what about Lena?
Oh.
She would start in her bed, but she always slept with like in their bed.
Wow. She's beautiful girl. Absolutely beautiful.
Was there ever a time when Dee showed you an injury that she had in her head, on her head?
Yes.
Okay. And can you describe the injury that you saw?
It was a bruise / bump on her head.
And where was it?
I can't remember which side, but it was like either around like this side or this side.
Okay. So you're saying at the hairline?
Yeah.
On one side or the other of her head?
Correct.
And do you recall, in relation to when she went missing in April, how far before that you saw this injury?
I can't recall it this time.
Were you aware that Dee would leave the Munger residence for periods of time during their marriage?
Can you rephrase that?
Sure. Were there times that Dee packed up and left?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know whether she would leave Lena or take Lena with her?
She would take Lena, and there was a few times I would go with her.
Okay. And the times that you didn't go, were you aware that where Dee was?
Sometimes, I mean, we always didn't communicate like daily, but yeah.
Okay.
Like I should rephrase later on, like yeah.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
So when that started to happen, it was more like later on when I was going to like college and stuff.
So
Before
there came to a point where you were going to college and you weren't around as much?
Yeah.
Okay. And when was that?
I graduated 2019, so fall of 2019, but I still COVID happened, so I came back and worked for them.
Okay. And right up to April of 2021, were you still working for them?
Correct.
When was the last time you were there working?
I believe it was that Wednesday before.
Okay. Now, did Dee ever tell you about any kind of extramarital affairs she may have had?
Yes.
And did she tell you the name of a person or more than one person?
Yes.
Okay. And who was that?
Rob Brisky.
Okay. And do you know how long that affair lasted?
I don't know like date to date wise, but at least a year.
If I showed you your Michigan, the police report from the Michigan State Police, would that refresh your memory as to?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
So all that stalking didn't stop his wife from having an affair anyway. That worked, Dale, didn't it? You creep. Oy, oy, oy.
Does that refresh your memory?
Yes,
Okay, when was it?
January of 2020.
That it ended?
Yes.
Okay. And did you see in yourself, not from anything anybody told you, did you see how he was listed in Dee's phone?
Yes,
What was he listed as?
his name was Michael in her phone.
Now on Saturday, the 24th of April, so you had worked that Wednesday, so I'm talking about that Saturday. Did you get a text from Dee in the afternoon on Saturday?
Yes,
Do you recall the general subject matter of the text?
yes.
And what was that?
She had gotten a text, I believe, from Terry, Nyric's girlfriend. It was just a very nasty text.
Okay, I'm going to show you people's 87.
Yes, I remember this conversation. Yes.
What is it I just showed you?
That was a conversation between Dee and I.
Right, and that part of it is that she forwarded you the text from Terry,
Yes,
the girlfriend?
yes,
Okay, and over text was Dee explaining to you what her reaction was to that text?
yes.
All right, and what was her basic reaction?
She had been throwing up.
Were you at the property at all on Sunday the 25th?
No.
Or Saturday the 24th?
No.
Did you find out at some point that Dee was missing?
Yes,
What day of the week was that, if you recall?
Sunday.
At some point after Dee went missing, did the sheriff call you in to watch some of the body cam?
Yes,
And approximately how long after she had gone missing did you go in to watch the body cam?
from what I can remember, it was the day after my birthday, so May 10th.
Okay, so she went missing in end of April. So, all right. And do you remember which sheriff's deputies or detectives you met with?
Yes,
Who was it?
I believe it's Detective Greca.
And do you remember what body cam he had you watch?
It was just like throughout the house. He wanted to see if I saw anything misplaced.
Okay, and the date of the body cam? Like what day was it from?
I don't recall the exact date, but I know it was in that week.
Okay. So you watched the body cam from that day, and it was tell us what you saw. Like in terms of what was happening in the body cam. Was it an interview or was it walking around?
It was walking around, but then Dale also was in it as well.
Okay,
It was
and
one of
where
the
where did they
earlier
go with the body
ones.
cam, if you remember?
From what I remember, it was the kitchen, and then it kind of went to their bedroom.
Okay, and was the sound on?
No, he was very specific to tell me not to turn the sound on.
And did you make an observation that you then relayed to Detective Greca?
Yes.
And what did you tell him?
It was the image was Dale, and it looked like he had burns or scratches on his arm.
Okay, and that stood out to you?
Yes.
Had you ever seen Dale with a burn like that before?
No.
That's all, thank you.
Oh. Doing a little welding, were we? Oh, thank goodness it isn't snarky.
Good afternoon, Ms. Wolf. My name is Marissa Vinsky. I just have some questions for you. So with starting to work for Ms. Warner in 2015, you worked for her for about 6 years, is that right?
Correct.
And you talked about how she was like a mother to you. Would you classify yourselves as best friends?
Yes.
You testified on direct that Ms. Warner had been discussing the topic of divorce for about 3 years prior to her disappearance. Is that right?
Correct.
You told Detective Greca that essentially the whole time that you knew the family, she had wanted a divorce. Is that accurate?
Are you able to show me where that's
Yes, I can. It's going to be page 30.
Good for you, girl.
Says that, so you'd agree with me, it says that you, essentially the entire time that you knew the family, Ms. Warner wanted a divorce.
If that's what the document says, then yes.
Is that what the document says?
Yes.
On April 24th, 2021, the government talked about text messages with Miss Warner. Do you recollect that?
The day of.
Correct. The day before she disappeared, April 24th, you had a text message exchange with her.
Correct.
And Miss Warner essentially, due to this argument, said she just couldn't handle it anymore. Do you remember that conversation?
Was that in the text messages?
Yes.
Yes. Then.
And when she said that, you really didn't read into it at all because that's stuff that Miss Warner would often say, correct?
Correct.
Miss Warner, she would mainly sleep on the couch when you were there.
Correct.
And she also would drive around to the different farm fields to make sure Mr. Warner was there, correct?
Correct.
She would snoop by going through his things.
This is ew.
Can you give me an example?
Yeah.
When you were with Miss Warner, she would go through Mr. Warner's items and go through his things and try to figure things out.
Figure what
Do you
out?
have like an example of
If you look in the document in front of you, page 29, you told Detective Greca that Miss Warner would snoop by going through Mr. Warner's things. It was on page 30, so I believe if you just flip it over, it should be page
Is
29.
it what else is highlighted as well?
Yes, it would be a highlighted portion.
Thank you.
She's lovely.
Go through Mr. Warner.
Yes, thank you for showing me that.
Yeah, so Miss Warner would go through Mr. Warner's things, correct?
Yes.
And can you give me an example of what you meant by that when you said that?
I was given a checkbook in B's name that Dale had and also the cell phone. That was Dale's.
When you were around Miss Warner, she would drink. Is that correct?
Yes.
She would drink every day?
Yeah.
There were times when she drank too much where she couldn't drive.
Not all the time, no.
Correct. There were times when she drank when she couldn't drive.
Correct.
And you actually had to pick up Lena from school because she couldn't go pick her up.
Can you show me that where that's at just to refresh my memory?
Miss Saylor, will you play the interview with Billy Little, GAAM 31, from 23:17 to 24:26?
I would drink every day if I had to be married to him. All righty, I'm going to zippity-doo-dah past her listening with the headphones on, which this is way better than what we saw in Edric Faust's trial, where they would have to hold the laptop up to their ear. Good grief.
Drinking.
There was
So Miss Warner would have you drive to pick up Lena because she could not drive due to drinking.
one time, yes, and she would ride with me.
Ma'am, this does not mean the woman deserved to be murdered. What are we doing?
The cell phone that Miss Warner gave you, that was Mr. Warner's, what did you do with that?
She told me to keep it, and then I gave it to, I believe, Detective Greca.
At the time you met with him on May 10th?
I believe so, yes.
Miss Warner would always walk to the office. Is that correct?
Not in
Can you
her
refresh my memory?
pajamas.
Yes. Do you still have the document, the police report in front of you for your interview with Detective Greca? It's going to be on page 30. When
Side sheet one.
the last year that you were with Miss Warner, not only would she walk to the office, but she would walk many places.
What do you mean by many places?
In your words, she would walk everywhere.
Well, she was going to go check on like the employees. Like there's a barn right next door to her house.
She would leave her house and walk to various places. Is that accurate?
Is that what I said in an interview?
Yes, it is.
I'm not recalling that.
No, that's okay. I can refresh your recollection. It's going to be the Billy Little interview that you had just listened to from 46:57 to 47:13. You said that Miss Warner would walk everywhere.
Due to her fitness, yes.
So she would walk everywhere.
In that last year, yes.
And then finally, you had testified about seeing a bruise on Miss Warner's forehead. Do you remember that?
Yes.
When you met with Detective Greca on May 10th, 2021, that was about 2 weeks after Miss Warner had disappeared, correct?
Correct.
And you never mentioned that bump at all on her forehead in that interview to him.
Okay.
Is that true?
I don't remember the full interview.
You can read the police report if that would help refresh your recollection. The interview is probably 55 minutes. So would you believe me if I said that you did not mention that bump at all?
If I did not mention it during that interview, then I did not mention it during that interview.
Okay, thank you.
She's like, here's your jump report. Take it back. It's okay, Maddie. We got your back. Oh, juror questions again. Oh boy. Oh boy. Come on. Come on. He's organizing some stuff there, let me tell you. And he's going to have count. Oh,
You indicated that
I'm wrong.
Dale had Dee's checkbook. Is that correct?
Correct.
Can you explain that, how that happened?
I don't remember the situation play by play, but that she had found a checkbook in her name that he had.
Objection if this is based on hearsay. So unless you witnessed this, and then it would be personal knowledge.
This is
Ma'am.
responsive to the questions that
Ma'am, you are the one that asked about all of these questions about what the snooping. Well, so she snooped, right? Oh, no. You opened this door. You get to live in it now. Oh, I got to back that up because yeah, she's not wanting this to come out because it's, yeah, I can't even put words together, y'all. All right, let's listen to Maddie girl here.
But that she had found a checkbook in her name that he had.
Objection if this is based on hearsay.
Correct.
Sorry about that. Now we get it.
is that correct?
Correct.
Can you explain that, how that happened?
I don't remember the situation play by play, but that she had found a checkbook in her name that he had.
Objection if this is based on hearsay. So unless you witnessed this, and then it would be personal knowledge.
This is just responsive to the questions that the defense was asking.
I understand that, but I don't think there's a foundation yet for this information to know how she knows. So we need that before she can answer.
All right. Do you know, other than Dee telling you?
Correct.
Okay. It's just from Dee telling you, that's the only way you know this information.
It was so long ago, I'm not 100%.
Okay. And when you said Dee walked everywhere, you're talking about around the Munger farm, or are you talking about other places?
After listening to that audio, I remember that she, in the last year, she was starting to get into like fitness. She wanted
Not
to
yet,
work on her
Brooklyn.
body.
Okay. And where would she do that?
She would walk down to the office, sometimes around the house, and then to the barn where the employees worked.
Okay. But all these places are on the Munger farm property.
Yes.
Okay. And
Did
then
she
in
ever
terms
walk
of,
in her
Dee
pajamas?
drinking, was that during a period of time or the entire time that you knew her?
I don't remember, like, I don't believe it was the full time, no.
Okay. Was this something that stuck out in your mind as Dee has a problem?
It did get to a point, yes,
Okay. And during the whole time, or just a certain period of time?
certain period of time,
And which period of time would that have been?
around when she said like she wanted a divorce.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I don't have anything, Your Honor.
All right, if council could approach, we have some questions to review.
Oh, questions. Plural, folks. Let me get it queued up here. We love this Michigan courtroom with juror
All right,
questions.
so we have received. All right, so we have received 5 questions from the jury at this point.
5.
It's my understanding the attorneys agreed to asking 4 of them and omitting 1. Is that accurate?
Yes, Your Honor. That's correct. Thank you.
Okay.
Bring it on.
So the first question is, did you ever witness Dee remove her wedding ring after fights with Dale?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Oh.
Did Dee discuss helping Terry with a divorce and any issues that arose from that?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
What was
You
that
mentioned
question?
burns or
Did I got to back this up. Hang on.
Did Dee discuss helping Terry with a divorce and
Did Dee discuss helping Terry with a divorce. Oh, this jury. Oh, I love them. All right, let's
Any issues that arose from that?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
You mentioned burns or scratches. Can you describe these exactly?
So the video footage wasn't really like super clear, but you could see that there was like almost like burn marks on both of his arms.
Do you know if Dee had a history of sleepwalking, and did you ever witness Dee sleepwalking?
I never witnessed her sleepwalking, and I'm not sure about the other part of the question.
Okay. Mr. McGeady, follow up to that.
wow.
I just need to plug back in.
The ring. They're asking about the ring.
Okay, I'm going to show you what's been
Yes.
introduced as People's number 74.
Wow.
This is body cam video from the Monday. Does that look familiar to you at all?
Yes.
What is that?
Oh,
That's what I had
y'all.
saw in the video on his arm.
Y'all, we talked about this. I didn't realize this was so close in proximity to the time that she disappeared. Do y'all see? It says 4/26/21. Oh my goodness. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That is very clear right there. That, oh boy. Okay. Yeah, he was wearing welding gloves. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what that's from.
And had you ever seen anything like that previously on Dale's arm?
No.
All right, thanks.
Wow.
So was there a time that Miss Warner thought that she lost her wedding ring after a vacation to Florida?
Yes.
And that's because she chose not to wear the ring during the whole vacation?
That's not what I heard.
I don't want to get into what you heard. Obviously, it's hearsay. So you remember a time when she thought she lost her ring after a vacation in Florida?
Can you rephrase that? Because only part of that is something.
So I just asked you if you are aware of a time that Miss Warner thought she lost her ring. So I'll break it up there.
Yes.
I was going to end it there.
Okay, nothing further. Thank you.
All right, may we excuse Ms. Wolf from her subpoena at this point? Yes. All right, so you are free to go, and you don't have to report any further. If you want to come back and come in further, you're able to do that if you wish.
Okay, I feel like some shenanigans may have gone on. Now look at how lovely she is. Why would anyone call her fluffy? She is absolutely beautiful. You despicable man, Dale Warner. How awful. Ugh, he makes me ill.
Okay, it is approximately 20 after, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to break here for today. We will resume tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. or as soon thereafter as regular upon support of the courthouse. So I'll actually be back just shortly before 9.
Okay, 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Thank you, I do. It's sitting right here in front of me. I appreciate that. All right, so yeah, a couple of things. So first, I'll just remind you at this point, again, you're not to be talking to anyone about the content of the trial, not talking to any of the people involved whatsoever at all. Additionally, during the trial, do not read, listen to, or watch any news reports about this case. Under the law, the evidence you consider to decide the case must meet certain standards. For example, witnesses must swear to tell the truth, and lawyers must be able to cross-examine them. Because news reports do not have to meet these standards, they could give you incorrect or misleading information that might unfairly favor one side. So to be fair to both sides, you must follow this instruction. And thank you again. And we will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Okay. 9 a.m. They stayed in here for 4 minutes. Let me see if we have anything.
Okay, so we have had 2 questions today that were not answered. Obviously, the one were not asked. Obviously, the ones that were asked were read on the record. It would be my normal practice to read the questions that aren't asked outside the presence of the jury so that they're.
Okay. So Hope 8 by 28. I've had to be in and out. Does the picture benefit the prosecution or defense? It absolutely benefits the prosecution. It is a photograph of Dale's arms that clearly look like he was welding and had gloves on and got like welder's burn or sunburn is what it looks like. And so, and Drianne, I thought that the sleepwalking question was very interesting as well.
A record of those. I do acknowledge I haven't done that yet with a couple of others. So I will go back through those tonight and we'll put those on the record maybe tomorrow morning. But the 2 that were asked today that were not, the 2 questions we received that were not asked. First was Brian Bush said he paid for the tracker and Stephanie Vocal said she paid for it. Will that be verified in the future, or are we to assume they're both telling the truth and decide for ourselves?
You're the finders of fact,
again,
jury.
All counsel agreed that that was not an appropriate question under the Michigan court rules. And the second question is, did you form any opinion of what you thought may have happened to Dee? And that was the question for Ms. Wolf. Again, all counsel agreed that that was not an appropriate question to ask under the
I get
rules
it.
of evidence. Anything else we need to address on the record before we adjourn?
There's only one issue. So we've had 2 witnesses, Ms. Wolf and Ms. Vogel, who have testified, albeit briefly, to things that run afoul of the court's evidentiary ruling. Moved on pretty quickly by the prosecutors, so I didn't object because it just highlights it even more. But we do have a few more lay witnesses, so I would just ask the government, if possible, be really clear with them as to what they can and cannot say. Once we start building on inappropriate comments, we have to start making decisions on how much the jury is hearing that they should. So I just wanted to state that for the record. Thank you.
All right. Anything else from the people?
No, Your Honor.
No, thank you. And I'm not the people, but from defense.
Understood. Thank you. All right. So we will resume tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Again, we have some sentencing hearings and things scheduled for 8:15. So for those of you coming into the courtroom, please be mindful of that. There's very likely something going on the record, even if it's quiet and it doesn't look that way. Sometimes we're just waiting for something to happen. So I appreciate your cooperation with that. All right. So we will be in recess.
Okie dokie, everybody. We made it through all of day 4. So what I am thinking is going to happen tomorrow is they will get a full day of testimony in. I will only be able to do 3 hours again tomorrow night. So we will get behind, but we will be able to get caught back up. I mean, I assume they could have like a 2-hour lunch again. Who the heck knows? So let me get to some of your comments and questions. Yeah, we didn't have any testimony about sleepwalking. No, there wasn't anything, but yet they were asking. The jury was on it. Boy. Yay, Drianne. I'm glad that you made it to finish up live with us. And I agree. Obviously, the dresser incident has to be a prior altercation that did get physical, that a motion in limine has been determined and ruled on by Judge Olsaver that they will not allow any prior bad acts, is what I am guessing the motion in limine was in reference to. So you can't talk about the dresser incident. You can't talk about him grabbing her, because that's what Maddie was saying in her testimony. And boy, he shut her up really freaking quick, which I don't know if I know too much about courts and trials now to know whether I would I would pick up on that now, but I don't know if I would pick up on that if I were just a regular juror that didn't know anything more than the average person. And did they say specifically what things aren't able to be said? No, they haven't. We're just kind of reading the tea leaves here, Disney. And who admitted that picture? So I do happen to know one of the things. Sorry, my camera goes a little crazy with my lights from time to time. One of the things that was ruled on that we skippity doodad passed is they stipulated to a bunch of exhibits, which is fantastic because then you don't spend all that time in front of the jury and the state would like to admit, just stipulate to it. Can y'all not get together and be like, yep, these are the exhibits? And so that is what happened in one of the breaks that we went past. And so the picture, I would imagine, was from the prosecution. And I also think that it is a freeze frame of body cam footage, since that's what she had said she'd seen. Definitely, I think there is domestic violence topic limitations. It definitely appears that they are trying to limit some of any prior bad acts that may have existed in the relationship. And so no one is allowed to talk about any of those things, which, I mean, I guess I kind of get it. It's really hard for me in domestic violence situations because I do feel like it shows a pattern. It's different than someone having a prior criminal history. For instance, Edric Faust, a lot has been said about this, all of these other arrests of his and everything. And to be perfectly frank, I don't care what his other offenses may be or what the outcome was on them, because I want to judge the case in front of me based on the merits of the case and not based on an individual's past history. Those to me, they're insignificant and not relevant. But yes, I agree with you, Felicia, that I feel like in domestic violence cases, they need to do something in the law to accommodate for these types of situations, because it does show, it does paint a different picture when you have that information available to you as a juror. So, because otherwise it's like, oh, it's just a one-off. He just, one time lost it and snapped and strangled her and stuck her in a anhydrous tank and welded it shut and repainted it. So with all that being said, we are all caught up. I will keep an eye on the court tomorrow to kind of see. So when we get started tomorrow, I'll be able to tell you, just like I did tonight, how much I think we have to view. In the meantime, I'll figure out tomorrow what we'll do as far as finishing the week out. I don't normally like to live stream on the weekends, but I may in this particular case, because I don't think I want to live stream on Friday night, especially because I think the closing ceremonies are going to be Friday night for the Olympics, aren't they? What's the date Friday night? Today is the 18th. I think the closing ceremonies are Friday night. Now I am going to want to watch that. So, we will see what we need to do. It may be a Saturday morning type of live stream, but we'll have a better idea tomorrow after we see what's going on. So I think if you are on the replay crew, thank you so much for watching on the replay. Drop me a comment. I know that some of the ads have been a little nutso and wackadoodle, and I'm sorry for that. I don't know that I have a lot of control over it. So, I apologize for that. And thank you, Kelly, my mod, for keeping everything under control this evening yet again. Everybody else, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Subscribing doesn't cost anything. And turn your notifications on. I know some of you came in late, and I hope you didn't come in late because you didn't know. So, oh, and I see Peppermint PJ was with us tonight too. Thanks for peeping in, Peppermint PJ. So yeah, I'm gonna get some peeps, y'all. I'm gonna eat a cotton candy peep. I'll let you know tomorrow night how delicious it is. And we'll carry on with everything else. Again, thank you so much for joining me this evening. Remember, it does not cost a penny to be kind. So find someone to do something nice for today if you haven't already. And always, always